Well, there's the darkness. They believe in a thing called love. Karl, do you? This is XFM 104.9. That is my favourite band at the moment.
You love them?
I absolutely love them. I think they're funny. I think they're straight down the line with a little bit of tongue-in-cheek. Ah, brilliant. See them on Jules Holland last night?
I didn't, sadly, no.
Brilliant.
Were they good?
Yeah, absolutely jumped. Oh, I mean, Jules didn't know what to do.
was he playing some Boogie Woogie?
They wouldn't let him play Boogie Woogie over their song. That's what I mean. That's why he stayed back. But
I can't imagine it was very good. Though.
He shook the.
I'm surprised you say they were good. It was Jules wasn't tinkling the old iris.
I thought, hold on, this is missing something.
Yeah.
This is missing someone from Squeeze vamping over them.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
they did well without him.
Extraordinary.
Yeah.
Well,
here we are. Then. We're back. XFM 104.9. Karl had to leave early last week, but you stay to the end this week, mate. Or
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need another holiday.
Oh, he's started already.
I mean,
Steve's made you look like a bit of a twat already, and it's only 1:05.
But the only reason you don't go on holiday is because you have to spend money.
Oh, and he's come straight back.
Well,
He's gone straight back.
I can't come back to that.
Oh,
it's just dynamite. It's just absolute. That was searing.
Last holiday Steve had, he sort of found a third world country so he could live like a king for a week. It was Cuba, wasn't it?
Going to Cuba, amazing. We can almost rule the place. If it weren't for Castro, I'd have been in charge. Kind of cash I was flashing around. They do anything for $1 over there. It's extraordinary, literally. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh,
definitely. And I went to Kenya before that.
So he thought to the prostitute, said no. You were going.
Yeah, well, it was $2. I mean, I'm not made of money.
Did you have a good holiday, Karl?
Yeah, it was all right. It's all right. Went down to Cornwall.
Now,
Tell
you
you
were
what,
going to the monkey
some odd
sanctuary.
people down there, Steve.
Well, don't look at me. I'm not from Cornwall.
Well, you're from that sort of area.
Well, not really, but never mind.
Genetically, he means.
Right.
They're weird.
Well, you must have slotted right in.
What are they weird? What do they look like?
Just all sort of odd people. A lot of old people, but not just old, sort of messed up old.
What do you mean messed up old? You can't just say that. There's.
There was a woman with a funny neck.
Okay, in what way was it funny?
Why did she have a funny neck? If you were writing an essay, you wouldn't say there was this woman with a funny neck. How would you describe it?
She sort of had her head like pointed down all the time. Like that.
Don't do it. It's his radio.
No, but just for you, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Walking about like
Yeah. Okay. Right. So brilliant.
that. I don't know. I was saying to Suzanne, what happened? You know, what do you think?
Because Suzanne knows everything. That's the good thing about her being with you. You just ask her what happened to her, and Suzanne goes, "Karl, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been here before."
Suzanne, your girlfriend, or mummy as you call her.
Oh, sparks are flying.
Yeah. I got a little bit of chocolate. Can you just lick a tissue and wipe it off?
Oh,
Well, she said it might have been like because back in the olden days they carried stuff on the.
the olden days.
What do you mean the olden days?
This woman was probably what, 50?
No, she looked about 70.
Yeah.
But like I do on Cheeky Freak of the Week, right? I always turn it round and we get like something good out
Something
of it.
positive, yeah.
I said to Suzanne, I bet she finds a lot of money.
Yeah.
Always staring at the ground, yeah.
Oh,
It was
dear.
always, it was always
Oh,
good.
so you're
Maybe
back.
she just had new shoes and she was admiring them.
Yeah.
Did you think of that? Before you point the finger and judge?
Or a necklace was too heavy.
Exactly.
So you're back refreshed. So what have we got for this week? Have we sort of, because we didn't meet last night, which we usually meet
No,
sort of
I
Friday.
called you and said it'd be good if we could. I wasn't getting back into London.
Well, I was up
till-
for it. I was
till
up for it,
7:30,
you know.
but
Yeah.
but we all need to be there. It's not
Yeah.
just me and you being there.
Yeah, so, yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right that I wasn't there yet because I wasn't willing to just be governed by your particular schedule. You want to jet back in from another of your holidays
It wasn't a
at
holiday.
8 o'clock.
Wasn't a holiday. That
Well,
was,
so what? You
What
were
do you
out
mean?
of town.
What do you mean it wasn't a holiday? What was it?
it was a treat, wasn't it, for my mum and dad? So it wasn't a holiday.
What, so you didn't enjoy the 5 days off? You'd rather have been here moaning 8 hours a day, 7 hours a day.
You see, we said last week that you're always whinging. Here you are whinging now.
I'm not
And you're
moaning.
saying it's not even a holiday. You're saying it's not even a holiday. What was it then?
Would like a nurse who takes sick children to Florida, would they say having a great holiday?
Sorry, what particular ailment did your parents have for the week that they had to fly in? Karl Pilkington, MD.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, all right, it was a holiday.
Well then, good. Now some honesty, now some truth.
So you came back from your holiday. You wanted to start back to work straight away. Steve couldn't be bothered to meet. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
So we've got nothing prepared for this.
Well, you can rely on Rockbusters. Right, that's coming
We've got
up.
nothing.
Monkey News.
Even though you were away, you were still working.
Still doing stuff.
Did you go to
That's-
the monkey sanctuary?
I'll tell you about that.
Tell us about it.
Play a record.
Sure.
All right. Do you want Smashing Pumpkins?
Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah,
I thought an
yeah,
old classic
yeah.
from them, Cherub Rock.
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins, Cherub Rock. That, of course, Rick, is available on their greatest hits.
Brilliant.
If you want.
I mean, that's how I rock. So
Yeah.
I know they. I'm very much the shape of a cherub as well.
Well, indeed.
Naked with a couple of
and a rosy big arse.
and a trumpet.
Yeah.
Do they have trumpets?
I don't know. I've just had an email here. Monkey news
Yeah.
from a listener. Monkey spotted holidaying in Cornwall. A chimp was spotted holidaying in Cornwall last week after befriending a family of 3. One onlooker said, "It was incredible. He dressed and behaved exactly like a human being. He even settled the hotel bill at the end of their stay. The only telltale sign was his lack of table manners and the incoherent babble when he opened his mouth." There we are. So,
Well, what do you think of that, Carl?
that's the listeners, Carl. That's Joanne.
Amusing, articulate, accurate. She remembered
Accurate.
exactly who's there and everything. Setting in the bill. It's all there. So I mean, even though people think that you're slightly simian, slightly less than human on the evolutionary ladder, they do listen to you. So I mean, I don't know who's more stupid in the end, you or the listeners.
Well, you may recall, Rick, at the end of last week when Karl had to shoot off early, we issued a little request for listeners just to bombard Karl's email with just pointless emails that really weren't about anything, just to clog up his email for when he returned.
Yeah.
Rick, they sent them all to us.
Brilliant.
I mean, that's the kind of listeners that we've got. We've got reams here on our email of just junk.
I mean, it's like a Marx Brothers plot, isn't it? I mean, just
ludicrous.
listen.
Listen to what we say.
I got one about a shaved cat. Well, that's not pointless. I'll be reading that later.
Oh, it's yeah.
I'm happy.
That'll keep me going for a couple of weeks.
I'll be reading that later.
Did you get to the monkey sanctuary? Because this was the big thing. You were going into Cornwall, you were going to visit the monkey sanctuary. I've never seen someone more excited. You had 2 days put aside for the monkey sanctuary. How did it go, Monkey World?
We were on our way, right? I found like a little in the little cottage that we had, right? It's like a little folder, with little leaflets in saying if you're into mountains, you want to go here.
Yeah.
If you're into castles and that.
Here's a
Little
castle
monkey
world.
on the leaflet, right? So I thought I'll be needing that. Took that out, made sure that's safe and that, right? We get in the car, getting ready to go. My dad says, "Where is it?" I look on the back. It's in a place called Low or something like that, right? Yeah. So we're on our way. Can't believe me luck. It's going to be a great day and all that.
Yeah.
And then start looking at the leaflet, right? And noticed didn't have any chimps there.
Yeah, it's not Monkey World.
It wasn't a monkey world.
Well, what was it called then?
Something like
Monkey Town.
yeah. It was just it had like woolly monkeys in it. That's what
They
it
had
was.
what?
Woolly monkeys.
What are woolly monkeys?
Those things, Johnny Vegas off the advert.
Right.
Loads of them. They're dumped now since ITV Digital went under, so they just put them in a cage.
I don't
They're
understand.
woolly. They're like they're sort of like little fluffy little baboon type things. Woolly monkeys. I mean, it's not your chimp. It's not your classic chimpanzee.
So did the car screech to a halt?
It was like
Yeah.
it was like the mission in Armageddon. I just said abort. We're on the way back.
So how far had you got before you bothered to read the leaflet?
Probably about 5 miles away from where we were.
So what did you do with yourself? You must have been distraught.
we
Well,
went
they
to
broke down and then they heard banjo music.
Yeah.
no, we went to a sort of an amusement place.
Brilliant.
Arcade.
I'd love to see you in that. What with putting those coins in, so it has to roll down and they go flat, and then an arm pushes
It
them.
was one of them.
Really?
But
I
I'd worked
spent
out it was
years
a
on that when I was little.
Well, there's a new one. I can't be bothered explaining it, but it's a con. We went to this place, right? My mum and dad had been there before, and they said you'll love it. It's brilliant. It's got like a war bit in it.
A war bit, right?
Yeah, like because they know I'm into tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
So you'll be loving that.
So sorry, I didn't know you were into tanks.
No.
Well, they're all right.
Brilliant. It's gone from one of his childhood passions to they're all right.
I know, yeah. Go on.
And but it was awful. I mean, my mum and dad had been there before, and he said, "No, you'll love it." But it was like a really miserable day.
Sure.
Right? All the rides and that were broke.
Yeah.
Broke.
It just reminds you of Manchester.
My dad just ended up. He was more interested. There was a really fat family there.
Well, presumably he was breaking into the machines trying to scoop off the cash.
I like the fact that those poor fat family were going, why are those people looking at us?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to ride one?
No, but
we're not a ride.
They were massive, and he just like, look at that, look at the state of that whole family.
Yeah.
Just fat.
Bloaters, yeah.
All right.
No,
down.
but because fat, there's no need for it, is there? And he was really like, oh, God. And then he wanted to follow them into the House of Mirrors to see what they look like. But my mum had got bored. She went off to buy a little Snow White figure. She couldn't believe her luck. It was only $2.99.
Yeah.
She thought it was going to be really expensive.
Sure,
so she
she's
bought
classy
one of
lady.
them. So she enjoyed that. And then my dad says, come on, we go in. It's rubbish, this.
What, the fat family wouldn't let him play with him?
So he just said on the way home, he said, I can safely say that I never want to go there again before I die. So that was that. And then we went home.
Why would he ever give you that information? In case it was like a secret birthday present. To go, oh, God, what if they get me a trip to here? Or if he's in a coma and you go, I'll tell you what, bring him out of it.
That fat couple.
yeah.
By his bedside.
Yeah.
But Suzanne said she now realises why I am the way I am after spending like a week with them.
Well,
She
they
said-
told her that they dropped you on your head as a kid, or?
No, just like, you know, the way they act and that.
Right, yeah.
They were saying things like, Suzanne, so, why is the moon out at night and the sun in the day? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God, there's three of them.
Suzanne, can you tie my shoelaces again?
It was the bit when my dad said, don't waste money on a coffin for him, just put him in a bin bag.
Your father said that? About himself?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'm glad you mentioned that, because
That is great.
that gives me an idea.
Saves a bit of money.
My dog.
Coldplay, God Put a Smile Upon Your Face on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Reading the paper yesterday, they were talking about the fact that Blair has been, I think he's been in Greece discussing EU matters.
Oh, yeah.
And they used the old Trojan horse analogy to say, you know, here's a particular policy and it seems like they're trying to sneak in some kind of dubious idea.
Disguised as something else.
Exactly. And it's always struck me, ever since I was first introduced to the Trojan horse theory, I never understood how it had come about. Do you know what I mean?
So, Karl has got a frown on him, like a thing I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Karl's not
Tony Blair is the Prime Minister.
You know what the Trojan horse was?
Go on.
Have you come
it
across
was
this
the
before? Have
siege
you
of-
heard of it before?
Wasn't an ascot or anything. Go on.
Well, the Trojan horse, what happened was, it's a famous kind of Greek story, about the fact that, the Greeks...
In olden times, Karl.
Yeah.
Olden times.
Olden
it is,
times, you know, the
specifically.
70s.
Yeah.
The Greeks laid siege to Troy for 6 years.
Waiting.
Basically, things had got out of hand. I think the Trojans had done something with Helen, and someone else was annoyed. Anyway, it all got very complicated. It got out of hand, and the
the
Greeks-
Helen, the one with the mashed up face, because they used to use it to launch ships.
Anyway, the Greeks laid siege to Troy for 6 years, right? And they weren't getting anywhere. They were outside the gates. They were saying, let us in. They weren't. They were... Blah, blah, blah. So what they did was, they all disappeared. They
They wanted to get in and kill everyone.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why they wouldn't be letting in.
But they couldn't get inside the city walls. So what they did was, they left as a gift for the Trojans. They left an enormous wooden horse, okay, as a gift, and then they all buggered off.
Like 40 foot high, 50 foot long. I mean, a big, you know,
Big wooden
an
horse.
arc of a
And
horse.
the Trojans wheeled it into the city.
So that's nice.
Thought, what a lovely gift.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, who was hiding inside? But the entire Greek army. They leapt
Lord.
out, killed everyone in their sleep.
Yeah.
All right, and that's where the famous idea of a Trojan horse has come from. You know, sneaking something in, disguised as something else.
All right.
All right. Okay.
So if you ever... Yeah.
He doesn't really understand, does he?
No, but to be honest, nor do I.
Well, this is the problem I've always had with this. Because I don't understand who comes up with the idea. I mean,
But I can't think that was the best idea.
well, no.
There must be other ways. If they come up with that, how long did it take them to go? When they said... One fellow said, whoa, can I have a word?
Go on,
General.
yeah.
I've got an idea.
Yeah.
Build a big horse, right? Hide inside it. And then, I know what you're thinking. They won't let us in even in the horse.
Yeah.
Leave it as a gift.
Brilliant. Right, who are you? That's the best idea. Are you the guy that came up with, why don't we get a giant bra and twing everyone over the walls?
Yeah. Let's get a 100-foot ruler. And you know, like at school, we used to like flick the teacher's ass with like right, I could flick you over one at a time.
Right.
On this giant ruler.
Thanks for your idea. It's on the table.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of suggestions on the way.
What about 1 million elastic bands tied together? Yeah, and you all hold it down, and then I just let you go.
Right.
And you all ping over, and then you kill him in their sleep.
You're the best tactician we've got, are you?
What? the other thing is, right, these people for some reason open the door.
Well, I don't understand. Firstly, there's suddenly the army that's laid siege to them for 6 years has disappeared. In their place, an enormous gift of a giant wooden horse.
Oh, they probably don't want to kill us now, but what they've done is they've built us a
they bought us a
horse.
great gift. Presumably there was a giant kind of card or something.
Yeah.
You know, something for you. You know, sorry about the laying siege and everything. Forgive you.
Yeah.
Here's an enormous gift. Here's an enormous Trojan horse. We know it's what you've always wanted.
We're not inside it.
Exactly.
Why did they write that?
Yeah.
That's suspicious.
But it's-
well,
I mean-
wheel it in anyway.
But in terms of it as an idea initially, I mean, we're going to give them a gift. Well, what should we do? We could bake an enormous quiche, be inside that. We could have an enormous soap on a rope as a It's the fact that it's an enormous horse, an enormous wooden horse as a gift anyway. I don't know if this was a popular gift at the time, but it's also the stupidity of the Trojans saying, brilliant. I've always wanted an enormous wooden horse. Well, what are we going to do with it? Where are we going to
wheel
put
it in anyway. Leave
Just
it.
wheel it in
Look, wheel
anyway.
it in. Let's go to sleep. Let's worry about it tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's this idea of someone going, right, is this definitely the best idea? And they go, yeah. And they look to the carpenter.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, we've got to get wood.
Well, you haven't put a door in.
Yeah.
How are we going to get up
Doesn't it
there?
look like a horse?
It is.
It's the worst horse I've ever seen. Why, it looks like a cow.
Wow, yeah, the udder's where we hide. There's a horse
It's got no tail.
That's the rope that you climb up.
But I don't know if it's one of those things where, again, because we kind of learn these things at school, that somewhere along the line, the truth of it has disappeared, and we are...
Well, I imagine it lost a bit in translation.
Yeah.
Because in Eohippus in Greek means giant tank.
Right,
So that
yeah.
actually was a Sherman.
Yeah.
And it burst through and it shot them all.
Yeah,
But of
yeah.
course, down the years, they've tried... Look at Karl's face. Look at Karl's face. If everyone on webcam... Karl, just keep that face and look up to the camera. Right? Just... Right, get a look at that now. Play a record, Karl. Educating Karl, we should bring that back.
We should bring that back.
Yeah? What do you want to learn about next week?
We've told you about the Trojan horse.
Know anything about any freaks?
Placebo. This picture on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
Right.
So you've been educated there, haven't you? The
Yeah,
Trojan
so,
horse.
Yeah.
Trojan horse. And that's of course where the phrase "beware Greeks bearing gifts" comes from.
Silence again.
Yeah. You ever heard of that one?
Go on. What's that again?
Beware Greeks bearing gifts.
Right.
What do you think that means?
I don't know. I mean, what is that? Is that used worldwide or what? Will he say that in Greece as well, or? Will you imagine Christmas Day is rubbish?
No, it doesn't actually mean beware of Greeks bearing gifts. It's more to do with, like, maybe it's too good to be true, or, you know. It's the opposite to don't look a gift horse in the mouth. That's probably where it came from as well. Go
Justin
on.
from Southend emailed in. He just said, for the Trojans not to have spotted that it was a trick, they must have been the biggest bunch of moronic, ever to have walked the earth. Does Karl have any Trojan in him by any chance?
Cheeky, innit?
Eh?
What?
Never mind. I think that probably proves it.
I thought of another one I like as well. I was saying, you may as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb.
I've never heard, I don't think I've heard that. I have heard, but I don't think I've ever used it in common parlance.
Well, it's like, if you're going to do something, you know, I might as well go the whole hog, depending on the outcome, because it's based on reality. That's why I like it, because obviously the poor people used to poach, and if they were caught stealing, you know, a sheep or anything, they would be hung. So if you're going to get caught, don't steal a lamb. You know, at least feed your family for a few weeks.
Right, sure.
Kill a sheep.
Yeah.
Actually hung for killing a sheep.
Oh. Your dad would be in trouble down in Wales, stealing stuff from that phone box.
Well, he has a couple of sayings, right?
Your father?
Yeah, I've never asked him what they mean.
Why would you? Ask Suzanne.
One is, don't try and teach your granny to suck eggs.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means is patronising. Of course I know that. You're talking to someone who knows more about this subject than you.
But how did that happen then? How did that saying come about?
Well, it's not. It's a totally made up thing. It's like your granny sucks eggs, doesn't she? Because she's older than you, and it's probably a lost art or something.
Right. And the other one,
Sucks eggs?
sucks
Yeah,
eggs, yeah.
Sucks eggs. Sorry, I thought you said something else.
Don't nudge your granny when she's shaving.
What?
Sorry.
Don't nudge your granny while she's shaving.
Don't nudge your... Sorry, say that slower. I can't...
Don't
Don't
nudge
nudge your granny when she's having a shave.
Well, what is that in context? Because I can't work out what the analogy is there, because that might just be you when you were little, you used to run up to your granny while she was shaving or something.
But why is your granny shaving?
Well, no, what context is that said in? Tell me the last time your dad ever said that, and I'll try and work out what it means.
Can't remember. I don't know.
Are you sure these aren't specific to your granny?
I was to say, were you nudging your granny? She was going,
Yeah.
"Get lost, Karl."
She was shaving off her moustache.
Or giving herself a Brazilian.
That's grotesque. Suck an egg. Suck that instead.
Oh God. That's made it worse. Karl's granny sucking eggs. Whilst that's... that is my...
a Brazilian. We've no idea. I don't know what that means. Don't nudge your granny while she's shaving. What,
Yeah.
Parmesan?
I don't know. Maybe someone knows. You might be right. Maybe.
Well,
it's just
email
some-
in. Tell us.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rockbusters, Karl. Yeah, should we get the ball rolling? Let me just find the gifts here, the little treats. We've got the album from the Karl. You know what I think about that. We've got Comfort in Sound Feeder. Well, it's just a novelty record, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got on DVD more great comedy moments, favourite clips from the best of contemporary BBC comedy. We've got Partridge on the front there. We've got one of the guys from Red Dwarf and
Brilliant.
good stuff on there. Smash Hits, the reunion, more great 80s tunes. Catch a Goo Goo's on there, plus some stuff.
Too shy?
It is too shy.
Yeah.
Actually, let me see if you can guess which one's from Tiffany.
Well, yeah, I know it. The only one.
I think we're alone now.
Yeah, I think we're alone, yeah.
Mel and Kim.
Respectable?
Human League.
That'd be... Oh, wow, what would they have got, Don't You Want Me?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aha.
Lies Take On Me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well done. Madness.
Baggy Trousers.
Of course. Kim Wilde.
Kids in America?
Yeah, so there's just all those treats. If you like a song from an 80s band, it's probably on there.
Yeah, okay.
Plus, we've also got on VHS Graham Norton, some kind of best of compilation from his TV show. So there are the.
Hold on, is it the one where he talks to sort of female gay icons and looks at the internet? Because that's my favourite one. Right, there you go. Let's do Rockbusters.
Right,
Email only, of course.
Yeah. You email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you know the answer. Right, first one. Bit of a cryptic clue if you haven't heard it before.
Wow, not cryptic, but go on. What is Karl thinking?
If you go into France by boat, I'd get your fags on there because it's a lot cheaper.
Imagine Bob Holness. Sorry, we're out of time. Sorry, your minute's up. You've won nothing. I was reading that question out.
Sorry,
Right.
so what's the...
Well, let's do it again, and I want it to be exactly the same, word perfect. I bet you it will change all over the place. It'll be different. He's lost it.
Go to France, buy yourself a boat,
Yeah.
fags are cheaper.
Okay, fingers on the buzzers. You've only got 10 seconds to win the gold run. Okay, first up. Here, I'll tell you what, no, seriously, if you're thinking of going to France, well don't, because go on the ferry, get the fags there, because it's cheaper. Go on.
Right, so that one again. If you want to buy some fags, you're going over to France on a boat, get them on there because you'll save a few quid. BF.
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 Okay.
Right, the second one. This little foreign cafe's growing its own steak.
This little foreign cafe is growing its own steak.
Yeah. This little foreign cafe's growing its own steak.
Go on.
D.
All right.
Right?
Okay.
And the last one,
Is that part of it?
hang on.
He's the best, isn't he? He's the best.
The Jamaican fella might have screamed this on the Titanic.
What?
The Jamaican fella might have screamed this on the Titanic.
Yeah.
What's it start with?
It's CD, that one.
Jamaican fella might have screamed this on the Titanic. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Please don't phone in. If you can get those, we just don't want to talk to you.
Better Nelly?
It's a summer favourite. Nelly, Ride With Me. That's featuring City Spud. I don't know if you're aware of that, but there we are. Good, nice summer tune.
Carl, tell Steve what you just told me when Steve was in the toilet then.
Right, I'd just been away with my mum and dad and that. And one of the things I always like doing is having a good chat with my dad about stuff he got up to when he was a kid and that.
Yeah.
Right, because he got up to loads of stuff, and every time I see him, he tells me something, and I think, it's like, why are you just telling me that now? It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I mean, to me, he's kind of like Ronnie Biggs or someone. He's just the most extraordinary kind of.
well, this happened, right? I can't remember. There was a delay yesterday. There was problems on the Paddington line.
Yeah.
And he was saying, trains aren't what they used to be.
Sure.
He said, I was
They
looking.
used to be horses, didn't they?
Well, he was looking in the booklet, and it was saying how you can have your bags collected if you want, but it costs you £5.
Yeah.
So that's outrageous.
Sure, of course.
Right, so he said that's the problem with this country. We've got good with computers and that, but when it comes to, like, getting service, it's gone out the window.
Yeah.
Right? So he said, when I worked on the trains, and he was going on like this, that and the other. So I said, I didn't know you worked on the trains. He said, yeah, when I was 18, right, it was his job to get the coal, right, and chuck it in the engine.
Uh-huh.
Right? And one day he's in Grand Central Station in Manchester, which is now the GMEX Centre.
Right.
Right? And that was like the main station. And he was in there. The fella who should have been sort of driving the train,
Yeah.
right? He said, I'm just nipping to the pub.
Sure.
So you just stay here, keep the engine topped up and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, all right,
For
all
a
right.
quick getaway.
Yeah.
Right? So the fella goes in the pub, and my dad's in there, putting the coal on. He did his bacon and eggs on a little shovel.
Yeah, yeah.
And anyway, fella comes up. He said, right, can you move the train forward now?
Oh, blimey.
So he was like, oh. So he didn't want to say, the fella's in the pub, because he'd know. He'd say, what's he doing in the pub? He should be working, right? So he said, yeah, no problem. I'll sort it out. All right, so he puts it into gear or whatever you do on them trains.
Sure,
right?
puts it into first, yeah.
Starts going forward. Now, people who don't know about trains, something that I learnt is if you're carrying a load of coal or whatever on the back of it, they don't have brakes on each carriage, right? It's only the engine that has brakes on it.
Uh-huh.
So when you pull the brakes on the engine, the whole weight of what it's pulling is pushing you forward.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't realise this though, because he's just used to cooking bacon and eggs and chucking coal in.
Of course,
thing,
yeah.
right?
So you've got to slam the brakes on sooner than you would normally.
Yeah.
Well, you have to anticipate it, I suppose. Yeah.
But he didn't know that, so
Yeah.
he's pulling in, he's thinking, right,
Well, he's a Pilkington.
I'll put the brakes on now.
Yeah.
Right? Puts the brakes on, the train just keeps going, he's going, oh god, it's not stopping.
Sure.
It ploughs right through the signal box. Right? Loads
The
of
baboon
damage.
pulling the signals don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Loads of damage done. Apparently, if it was today's money,
Yeah.
it'd be about £3 to £4 million worth of damage. It shut the station off for 4 weeks. But he didn't lose his job. The fella had lost his job, the one who was in the pub.
Yeah.
He said the funny thing was, he said like £4 million worth of damage. He did his ankle, his wrist in. He had 3 weeks off sick and got paid. So it's brilliant. So
I love your family.
It's extraordinary. The Pilkington gene.
weird, isn't it?
I'd like to see a documentary following you and your family. You'd have to get the family involved.
No, this is the sort of stuff my dad goes on about. They'd never put it on telly.
Blair, out of time on XFM 104.9.
We ought to give those Rockbusters clues again.
Yeah, go on.
We've had
First
very
one.
few contributions so far, Carl. I think you've really started.
This might be it. I've told you, you're on thin ice. If this goes wrong, if it's rubbish, and if everyone doesn't get them all, that's the end of Rockbusters.
Right, well, the first one again, right?
Yeah.
If you go out to France, right, by boat, you might as well get your fags whilst you're on that, because you'll save a few quid. Right?
Different every time.
BF is the initials of the artist that little cryptic clue makes up. The second one, Little Foreign Cafe, it's growing its own steak. Right? That's D. Little Foreign Cafe, it's growing its own steak. D. And the last one, if there was a Jamaican fella on the Titanic when it went down, he'd probably scream this. CD. Right? So email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Yeah,
Right?
they're not
Right.
flooding in, but yeah.
Well, we'll see how we do.
Carl, have we still got monkey news?
We've got monkey news coming up.
Now, you must be disappointed because you didn't make it to the monkey sanctuary, but you still managed to scrape together monkey news on your holiday.
Yeah.
That's
So I
impressive.
found some of that. We've got...
How do you get so many breaks and holidays? Because you went away with Suzanne's parents. You've just been away with your parents. That's a couple of weeks, 10 days. So that's probably about 3 weeks in all. You had that you went to Manchester, you had that day off because your trousers were wet. I mean, and I suppose because you've only got one job, and I've got a lot more. This is just one of my jobs. But I mean, don't you ever count your blessings? Go, God, thank God, I can have time off. I don't work too hard. I'm not stressed too much.
No. It's just all to do with when you do work, do a lot. So I get a lot done.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm always doing stuff. I mean, even though when I was in Cornwall, right, I'm sat there on the grass.
I'd love to just sit on the grass.
Oh, yeah, you're too busy.
Chill out a little bit. I know, yeah, well,
Me dad and Susanna playing crib, right? I'd sort of fallen out with him at
Your
that
dad
point.
and Susanna playing crib.
Why did you fallen out
you
with
live
him?
in the 1940s.
Yeah, why did you fallen out?
Because with crib, have you ever played crib?
Yeah.
Right, you've got to be pretty good at maths.
Sure.
Well, you've got to make your cards add up to 15 and all.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna correct you on you've got to be good at maths. Yeah. What? Algebra, quantum physics, what?
No, just adding up.
Adding up to 15. Brilliant.
I mean,
You can almost do it on your fingers.
You could in Cornwall. Yeah.
But my dad's really good at maths, and like he said, how many have you got? And he always counts his, and it's like 15, 2, 15, 4, 15, 6, 3 for your hat, 1 and all that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He adds it up really
One
quick.
for his knob.
Right, so I was like, right, hang on a minute. And he goes, no, what do you mean, hang on? Add it up, what have you got? He said, oh, forget it. I said, this isn't fun if you're going to start getting all arty with me.
Sure.
So,
Forget it. Yeah. I love it. But I don't know him, but I'm sure he's just winding you up. His victory is you going, forget it, I'm not playing.
well, anyway, right, so it doesn't matter. I think I'll go off and do some prep, right?
Yes.
Do some research for Saturday. Found one of Suzanne's magazines, right? Flicking through, because there's always interesting stuff in there. There was something about swingers.
Right.
I was like, what's all that about?
Yeah.
And it had an interview with some people talking about, how they sleep about a bit.
Yeah.
And I thought, if my wife looked like that, I probably would. Because there was a few pictures of them, and they were all pretty ugly.
Yes.
I thought, right. So I took that in, soaked that up, thought, there you go. Carried on reading. There was a bit in there about how women still have crushes, right?
Yes.
And the woman was going on about how she's 38, right? But she still fancies Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Uh-huh.
And, even though it'll never happen, she's still got that little bit in her head that thinks one day she'll leave Gwyneth, right? And end up with her, right?
Right.
Anyway, so I'm thinking this is a bit boring, but I'm flicking through it all. And,
Is this a Rockbusters clue?
no, right? And I read further on, right? And she said, I like to go out with my mates, and we come up with lists in pubs of people who they'd be nice to go out with. She also came up with a list of unlikely lust objects, I think she called them.
Yeah.
Guess who was in that list?
Ricky Gervais.
Think again.
Karl Pilkington.
Right? Next one.
Johnny Vegas.
Said, lanky co-writer.
Rubbish.
Lanky co-writer.
What do you mean lanky co-writer?
Well, do I need to say any more? He said,
hang on, wait a minute. Let's not talk about... I don't know why you're laughing at my expense. I'm an unlikely lust object.
yeah,
But what was it called? The list?
The unlikely lust object.
Yes.
You were in there, right?
Who else was?
Well, you weren't in there.
Richard Madeley,
Fine.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking guy.
Alistair Campbell.
Brilliant. Another handsome dude. What are you talking about? You think I'm ashamed or embarrassed about that? I'm proud of it. What magazine was it? I need to buy a couple of copies.
It was.
Need to get a t-shirt made.
And did she leave her number?
Yeah. So what magazine was it? I was just out of interest.
I think it's called Red.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But now you've dissed those people that are putting themselves in their swingers because you've said they're ugly. So now we know what magazine it is. People are going to look at that. People are going to look at that poor woman, and they're going to know you think she's a hog.
No, but I think they even know.
Was there a picture of the
They
woman who'd
know.
drawn up the list of unlikely lust objects? Mm-hmm. What was she like?
I wouldn't waste my time.
Thanks, mate. I know you're on my side.
The Thrills on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant, object of unlikely lust object. Steve Merchant.
I'd like to have that now, prefixing my name everywhere I'm written about.
I know, yeah. Did he make the freak list?
Whoa!
Which is a different magazine, isn't it? And I'm joking, of course. Karl Pilkington, a man of sort of quiet dignity and and in a way, he's got his own sort of inner beauty, hasn't he, Karl?
Not really.
Do you think?
Well, I'll tell you why I don't think it is, because the woman that wrote the piece, saying that I was an unlikely lust object, has just emailed in. And Karl, you've offended her quite considerably.
What did he say?
Why?
I wouldn't waste my time, is what you said. She's repeated that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't waste my time, the flaming cheek. Although it's a horrible picture, I am, of course, in real life, a vision of loveliness. I'm not 38, I'm 25. I don't think Stephen's that unlikely lust object. A sense of humour is important, and he's welcome to my phone number if he wants it.
That sense of humour is important. That's a down.
Is she a swinger?
Stop it!
Don't have a go at the woman,
I'm
for goodness sake.
messing about. She knows I'm messing about.
Well, how are you messing about?
I've told you this though. I've told you that anyone could be listening, haven't I? I've told you that before. Things you say, but we encourage him. We say, "What does she look like?" But it's meant to be rhetorical. That was a joke. That was Steve's joke. What does she look like? I.e., him joking, like, "Oh, I'll call her up because I'm on a list," and then you have to say that. I mean, that's what I mean. So chances are, if she likes Stephen, she hasn't seen him. She listens to the radio. So the likelihood is that, she was listening to this show.
Yeah.
So think.
Will I drop the thing I was going to do about Lisa Riley?
Well,
She's not listening.
Some people deserve it.
She's still at lunch.
What, from Tuesday? There's an all-you-can-eat place going out of business as we speak.
Oh, bloody hell, she's back. You killed me. I gotta do Bambino. Please leave now. Please leave. So,
No, but she knows was only messing. This
everyone knows you're only messing. We're all only messing. I hope we don't offend anyone of, any kind out there. We're only joking, aren't we, Karl?
Yeah.
Say something nice about her.
What can you remember of the picture that you could say was good? Maybe she was wearing some nice
wasn't
clothes.
anything, to be honest. I'll have another look and have a look. I think she had a nice shirt, honestly.
Forthcoming single from British Sea Power. That's called Carry On.
I love it.
It's great.
It's fantastic. On XFM 104.9.
What do you make, Karl, of these people? I was reading in the paper today. They've been queuing up for 12 hours last night for the new Harry Potter book.
Oh, God. Oh, God, it really annoys me. Everything, oh, God, it really annoys me.
But who has to... I mean, I know it's just a kind of willful sort of stubbornness.
I see adults reading it,
Well, I was up in Hampstead last night, and there's a Waterstones branch of that, and there were a couple of people outside, queuing, waiting for it to open.
What do they look like?
Well, I mean...
Things that they're like the ones that come out of Forbidden Planet on a Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? There was one guy, I mean, I don't mean to disrespect him, but he was a big bloater, wearing shorts. I don't want to see his big fleshy legs. He looked like John O'Coleman, if I'm not...
There's nothing wrong with John O'Coleman.
He wore a knapsack. They always seem to have knapsacks for some reason.
Well, they got old papers in there, haven't they?
Exactly.
Got a 9 year supply of
There was
the mirror.
about 4 of them. There was a couple of women, a couple of guys, all looked basically the same. They were interchangeable. And,
they were there from him in a minute.
Yeah. I am the fat bloater with fleshy legs.
yeah. I recognise your description.
I like to read these books whilst listening to XFM of a Saturday.
Yeah. I was sort of watching them from where I was, and they must have been there for about an hour and a half. They're obviously strangers. Their common interest was Harry Potter. They were sort of chatting to each other for about an hour and a half. So as I'm leaving, I wander past them. An hour and a half in to them having met each other, the conversation is, all I heard was, well, of course, apparently she cried when she finished the last one. And I thought, they've not moved on. The conversation had not moved on.
No, they might have been talking about Dawn French, chocolate orange. By then.
Yeah.
I know she cried when she finished the last one once.
Yeah. But I've got no time for him. Pop into Walrus now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, get it tomorrow, read it. You're going to get home at 1:30 and start reading it.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
So you can put it on the internet.
Oh, God.
Your opinions.
Oh, it annoys me.
It is extraordinary. The whole kind of Harry Potter phenomenon has passed me by.
I know. Well, good luck to her,
But you meet adults who are, you say, what are you doing? They go, I'm just rereading Harry Potter. What, you couldn't follow it the first time?
Yeah. I mean, it's not her fault. She made £300 million by writing a few books for her kids. Well done. But I'm sure I'm not sure they're very good. But I I haven't read them. I'm sure they're not. But no, I don't know.
Well,
No, I'm joking.
I've
no idea.
a book about a little wizard.
With glasses.
Yeah, and make millions. You so easy. If you think it's so easy, you do it.
You like him because you look a bit like him.
Well,
Wow.
you know.
I wonder if he's on that wish list. That woman who emailed in. Why was she making a list of unlikely?
Can we leave this now?
No, but I mean, what was it? What was context was it? It was like, here's my top 10 weird-looking fellas that I do.
No.
What was it? No, but what was she was talking about? What was she started talking about? What? Body waxing and went, and by the way, while I'm here, here's 10 blokes that I would if I had to, and they're a bit weird. You'll be surprised. What was the context?
Forgot.
He's scared to say anything now. He's scared to say anything. Oh, bless him.
I just was looking at a picture because I was attracted to it because she was good looking and that. Didn't read on. All right.
Well done. That's got you out of that little mess.
Yeah.
Well done.
But Harry Potter.
Yeah, can't be honest with it. Have you read them?
No, because the first time it came out, I was a bit confused, wasn't I? Because I thought it was about
Of course
the
you
rabbit.
were. Yeah. Of course what? What?
This is a what? It's a book.
No, I got confused with the little rabbit. I thought it was her, didn't I? He talked about it when
Beatrix Potter.
Yeah, I got mixed up with that, so I sort of missed out on the first one anyway.
You were just running around confused.
So it was it was sort of too late to get into it, I think, after.
Yeah, it's too late now, yeah. It's impossible. Same with Shakespeare. If you weren't around, the day he wrote the first ones, there's no point in going back.
But it's all the fuss that she's getting as well, like,
Well, I think it's because she's a British industry now, isn't she? I mean, it must have made, what, billions?
Well, it's the perfect success story. She writes a story for her children, and it becomes a worldwide phenomenon. You know, it's not cynical. It's just a great story.
Didn't your dad ever pop anything down in writing?
I'll tell you what, my mum wanted to do it.
Yeah.
There's been loads of things, little inventions she's come up with and that, but she's been too busy doing other stuff. But she used to come up with stories for me as a kid that I'm sure if they came out, they'd be a success.
Yeah.
Go on.
Do you remember any of them?
There was one about a little red car. I can't remember how that ended. But the one that was really good was about a kid who gets a dog, right? But it's quite an old dog.
This is going to be an episode of the Waltons, isn't it?
Right.
Go on.
And he's playing with the dog and that, but it starts getting a bit old. It's about 15 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, it's rubbish, this dog. So,
I would love that book for kids. I would love that. Tommy went, oh, Mummy, my dad's, oh no, kill it then. Kill it then. She's like, yeah, just throw it in the lake. I'll get you another one. Do you want a Nintendo? Yeah. Kick the rabbit to death then. Or no food for you.
Oh,
brilliant.
No,
Come on. Jump. Van Halen. On XFM 104.9. Right, come on, Karl. We've got a lot to fit in now. We've insulted a lot of people. Only about 25 minutes to go. We've got monkey news. We've got rockbusters. Have we got a cheeky freak of the week this week?
could cram it in, see how we do.
Do we want to hear the end of Karl's story?
Yeah, what's
I really
this?
want to hear the end of your
Kid,
story.
little Timmy and his 15-year-old dog Lucky got a bit bored with it.
Right, so he said, oh, Mum, you know, this dog's rubbish and that, I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
So she goes...
How old were you when your mum was telling you this story?
Don't know, about 4.
Okay.
It wasn't last week on holiday.
No,
Right,
wait.
so she goes, oh, all right then, we'll get you another one.
Yeah.
She goes, brilliant.
What did you do with the old one?
Just kept it, but didn't sort of play with it or anything.
Just ostracised it.
Yeah.
Of its own free will. Or curled up and died.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
So,
What
so
did you get him? What sort of dog?
I think it was a little baby, like Labrador.
Puppy.
Little puppy, yeah.
Yeah, Labrador.
Right.
Good one. Good choice for a second dog.
So,
Yeah.
so
I'm
anyway,
loving this story.
It's a great
I am actually
story.
loving this story.
So,
Where does he live?
I don't know, it didn't matter. It was near a lake.
Oh, that's where they were getting rid of all the dogs. Sure.
Yeah.
We're getting, that'll make sense in a minute, right? So, so he's got a little dog, he's playing around with it, he's playing with its belly and stuff, he's thinking this is brilliant, best dog I've ever had, right? And the other dog sat in the corner looking all fed up,
Yeah.
right? So,
I like this story.
so he says to his mum, right, I'm taking, little puppy down the park.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, take the old one with you. And he goes, oh, do we have to?
It's a moral, isn't it? I bet the old one saves him.
So he goes, oh, do I have to? She goes, yeah, it still needs a walk and that. It's crapping all over the house, right?
Yeah.
So takes it down the park, right? and he's playing around, and he's playing near the lake. Right?
Is the puppy near the lake, Karl? Because this is what's worrying me.
Yeah.
Puppy's near the lake, right? That jumps in. The kid goes, oh God, he jumps in. Remembers he can't swim.
Yeah, idiot.
Right?
This kid is based on you, isn't it?
Almost certainly.
Flapping about. Water's going everywhere. He's going, I can't. Oh God! And he wants the puppy to help him, but the puppy's just like drowning as well.
Yeah.
The old dog comes up, drags them both out. He goes, I can't believe it. You know, I said I was fed up with you.
Yeah.
You saved my life.
Yeah.
He gets home, and he says to his mum,
Kill the
"Get
little
rid of
one.
the puppy."
Kill the puppy.
Yeah. So it's good little.
What does he say when he gets home?
He said, I don't need the puppy now.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Genius.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, so the moral of that story is just follow your whims.
They just, yeah. If you get bored and you just get another puppy.
Get another dog.
If you get bored with the old one again, just do it again. I mean, just eventually, get something that you like for a little.
Who cares?
Yeah. That's brilliant. That is a brilliant story, though.
Right, so that's that. Rockbusters.
Yes.
I don't want you to have monkey news right now, because we've just had a little story there.
Sure.
You don't want to, don't want to go too far. Yeah, go on.
So we'll get Rockbusters out of the way. Have we got a winner?
Come on then. See, it worries me that we've had very few entries. I think that even your mental fans aren't getting these, which is really worrying. They must be terrible clues this week.
All right, well...
Has anyone got them right, Steve?
I think there's just one guy, who I suspect has won in the past.
Well, so what?
Right, the first one. If you go out of France by boat, you might as well buy your fags when you're on that, because you'll get them a lot cheaper.
Brilliant.
Right?
Yeah.
BF.
Yeah.
Buy it ferry. Right? That's like...
What?
Buy on ferry.
What?
Buy on
ferry. What's that? Is that a band? What is it? I don't know what it is.
Brian Ferry.
Brian Ferry? What's that got to do with buying on a ferry, though?
Just because it's quite close to it. Buy on ferry.
What?
Buy on ferry.
Sorry, what's your first language?
The second one.
That's rubbish. That doesn't count.
No,
Brian Ferry.
Brian Ferry, buy on ferry.
There's this little foreign cafe. It's growing its own steak. That's Delamitri. The third one.
What? Sorry, what? What is that? What is that? Delamitri.
Delhi is a little foreign cafe.
Yeah.
And a meat tree and that.
A meat tree? A meat tree? What were the initials for that?
Just D for that.
Just D for that?
Yeah.
So not DA?
So you didn't even give them a chance to get the group?
Well, they got it.
Well, no.
No, they didn't. Right, it's the end. Go on, right. Go on.
Delhi meat tree?
Delhi meat tree. One word. D. Or any letter.
They're growing their own meat.
M's in it. Go on. Okay, so Bayern, I love Bayern Ferry. And Oxymusic was brilliant. I love Oxymusic. Go on.
Can I just point out, Rick, that we've had
David Bowie?
Delhi meat tree.
Yeah.
I don't see why necessarily Aidan, who emailed in, why he doesn't get to win, because he emailed in dire steaks. Seems to me just as valid, as far as I can tell, but Delhi meat tree it is.
And the last one, if there was a Jamaican fella on the Titanic...
I'm looking forward to this. With a little bit of fear.
Jamaican fella, if he was on the Titanic, he probably would have screamed this.
Yeah.
That's Christ de Berg.
Oh, I don't know what to do. Stunning.
So who's the winner?
I'm not going to give it to anyone. I just don't...
Sorry, what's the Jamaican bit got to do with it?
Just the D. Just Christ de Berg.
Say it again?
No, I think they've worked it out now.
Say it again?
Christ de Berg.
And who's that?
What?
Who's that?
Who's what?
Who's Christ de Berg?
Chris de Berg. Who's the winner, Steve?
Do you know what? I'm going to give it to Aidan, because he just treated you with nothing but contempt. Steve Martin emailed in again. He got the first two, and then the last one he just emailed, I neither know nor care about this answer. I'm tempted to give him each one.
Do you know what you've done there, don't you?
Go on.
You've put the nail in the coffin of Rockbusters. I warned you for 3 weeks, and you sort of bucked your ideas up for a little while. But Christ de Berg...
Those are the worst you've ever done.
The worst... Delamitri. So, and... didn't just put D, and then Bayern Ferry. Bayern Ferry. Bayern Ferry.
So, is that it then? Aren't we doing it
Play
anymore?
record.
Aren't we doing it anymore?
I'm ashamed.
You're an idiot.
Are we doing it anymore?
I'm just going to keep saying you're an idiot.
Play a
Are
record.
we doing
Carl,
it
have
anymore?
you learnt nothing from Dr. Fox?
Yeah.
That's not a Sony out the window.
Huh?
Aren't we doing it anymore?
What, you need to start working on it now, because they're so good. You need to start working now for next Saturday.
Aren't we doing it anymore?
Just, I don't know.
Aren't we doing it?
Flaming Lips. Fight test. So, end of Rockbusters probably, I think.
Well,
a little rest.
I didn't announce a winner, and I would like to give the prize to Mark Blackwell, because I think Mark treated the quiz with the kind of contempt it deserves by emailing in the right answers after we'd given them out. And that seems fair enough to me. That's the
I'm
only way
still
really
surprised
you
you got them right.
It's amazing. So well done, Mark. You get those fairly mediocre prizes. Adverts? I'd love some adverts.
Yeah.
Monkey News afterwards?
Well, maybe. Cardigans. You're the Storm on XFM 104.9. Well, nearly the end of the show, but we wouldn't, we wouldn't let them down, would we? You know what it is now, don't you? Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
All right. Now, whilst I was in Cornwall, I wasn't online. I didn't have the internet, so it was like, oh, what am I going to do? And I didn't come back till yesterday. I thought there's loads going on that I don't know about in the monkey world and stuff. I was hoping to get some from the zoo that I was meant to be going to. Of course, that didn't happen. So I said to my dad, do you know anything about monkeys? Or have you got any stories with monkeys?
Brilliant. This is what Trevor McDonald does.
Turned out...
9:45, he goes, got nothing. Dad, anything happened? You got anything politics? Anything politics, Dad? No.
This isn't monkey news, I'm just giving you this free.
Yeah, brilliant.
Turned out one of his mates used to have a chimp.
Right.
What do you mean one of his mates used to have a chimp?
Well, two of his mates. Mind you,
Oh,
one
sorry,
wasn't his
yeah,
mate, one wasn't his mate.
I was thinking it sounded a bit far-fetched living in Manchester, like. But if there was two of them...
He had a chimp, had to thump it in the head.
For doing what? Answering back?
Oh, God!
Tried it on with his wife.
Had to thump it in the head for trying it on with his wife! I love it. It's a proper fist fight in a pub in Manchester. Oh.
I'd call him up, but he's one of them who, like, swears all the time.
Right.
Oh.
I mean, it'd be good to get him on and just...
Let's interview him. Can we not interview him pre-record? We can bleep out the swear. I'd love to hear his
do
story.
a lot of work, that.
Yeah, well, we're not scared of work, are
No,
we,
I mean,
Steve?
I'll get myself if you can't be bothered.
Yeah,
Oh, I'll have a word, I'll sort it out.
Yeah, try and sort that out.
yeah,
next
if you
week.
sort that out, yeah.
Well, don't tell us the rest of the story then. Let's let him say in his own
No,
words.
but there was another one as well. Some
When
fella...
you say you can get him on, but he swears a lot, you mean the monkey? I'm assuming he's more coherent than your dad's mate.
But there's him, and there's some other fella he knows who had a funny name. I'll have to find out, because you'll love his name. But he was a drag artist.
Yeah.
And I think he said my dad went round one day, I don't know why, right? Went around there, knocked on the door, chimp answered.
Carl, I don't know what you're doing, mate. I don't know where this place you live. Next door, there's an horse in the front room. There's chimps running round.
Mad. Anyway,
Chimpanzee!
Is that it? Is that the end of the story? There's a chimp answering the door and that's the end.
You sure it wasn't the drag artist before he shaved?
no,
Sure it wasn't your gran?
Because I like the really airy ones that decide they can be female impersonators. Yeah, your gran.
Anyway.
Go on then. This is the monkey news. So you got that for free. What's this going to be like,
Well, let's
Steve?
have more jingles.
Okay. Oh, chimpanzee that, monkey news extra.
Okay.
Right, another phrase. We've been talking about phrases today.
Yeah, we have,
Don't touch
yeah.
your granny when she's shaving.
Yeah.
Don't teach your granny to suck eggs.
Yeah.
Don't look a horse in the mouth.
Yeah. Don't let the chimp answer the door if you're tucking your cock in.
Familiar with the phrase monkey business?
No, never heard that one before, Carl. That's brilliant.
Right, well, it came about. This has been emailed in and I haven't really had a chance to look at it, so I'm just weighing it up now.
God.
Yeah.
This is the biggest shambles on air, isn't it? Really?
I'm ashamed of it.
I mean, what was Dr. Fox? Dr. Fox must have been really polite. He must have been thinking, I don't know how to put this. He must have wanted to scream and go, "You shouldn't be in the radio authority."
My parents listen online. I can't look them in the eye.
Right, I think I've weighed it up. Long time ago, right?
Yeah.
In the
olden days, yeah.
in
Go
the Amazon jungle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Little family of monkeys in there, right? Having a good life, right? Didn't have any predators in there, right? So they were loving it.
Yeah.
They had a load of food around them. They had loads of banana trees,
Yeah.
right?
No, I don't think so.
No, they did.
Sorry. Yeah.
Everything's going great, so they're happy in that. They go to bed,
Okay.
wake up in the morning, load of bananas gone.
Ooh, hang on, interesting.
Hold on, wait a minute.
So
Either your dad's been around, or...
This isn't the great Amazon banana robbery, is it?
anyway, turns out it was another load of monkeys from another part of the island, from the rough bit.
From the rough bit, I love it. They went into a middle class area.
they're the ones with the earrings and the leather jackets.
Oh, that is brilliant. From a rough part of the island.
So the monkeys thought, well, there's no point getting into a fight with them because they're harder than we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, and they carry chains.
So
I love all this
They got
conjecture.
flip knives and tattoos.
Yeah, go on.
basically, they said, let's do some business with the bananas.
Let's do some business with the bananas.
This is shit. This is.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Christ.
Right, calm down, we haven't got much time left.
Oh, God. What do you mean this is...
Forget it.
No, don't forget it! Carl, do not press
seriously.
that! Switch the record off. Switch the record off.
Christ.
Switch the record off, Carl.
What are you talking about? What did they do? Oh.
Let's do business with the bananas.
Yeah.
So they said, well, rather than them coming robbing them, we'll flog them. So that put a stop to it then. The monkeys came. They didn't have money. They said, give us some bananas. And it says
So what, they exchange bananas for bananas?
for berries and nuts. So that's where the phrase monkey business
No, it's
comes from. Little business to set up.
Right, there, God. That's the end of that as well. So that's the end. That is a shame. That's the end of Rockbusters and Monkey News. Well done. You've done it in one show. Animal Nitrate by Suede. We've got to go. Goodbye on the day that we saw the end of Rockbusters and Monkey News. Next up is Alex Zane. It's got the body of the man but the face of a lady.
See you next week.
Well, there's the best band in Britain, in my opinion.
Big words.
The Darkness, Growing on Me, on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
Have you got the album?
And already, they've had an argument.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know whether we need to cheapen the show by discussing it, but I asked for a particular track. Karl is the producer, and he failed to get it for me. He's failed to bring it up from the record library. Completely failed in his mission. He needed to get 2 records, and he failed to get one of them. A 50% error rate there.
Yeah, but like I said, I looked in the system. It told me what album it's on. I brought that album up. I'm busy.
But, okay, so fine. Fine, you're absolutely fine then. That's no problem. You know, once again, that's a great excuse, Karl. Brilliant. The show has been ruined. It's been partially ruined, but you've got a bit of an excuse.
All right. I didn't make a big deal out of it when you said, oh, and whilst you're down there, get us a new 50 Cent single.
I never said, why you don't get the new 50 Cent single. I asked you if 50 Cent single was lying around.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been here, I wouldn't have worried.
So I get it, yeah. I did that for you.
Right.
And when I come up, you say, has it got swearing in it? Well, I don't know. It's 5-1, Steve. I haven't got time. I've been whizzing around.
You're the producer. It's the brand new single. I'd have thought it had been lying around in the XFM office anyway.
But I don't have time to sit around listening to music.
Sure. Well, yeah.
Right? I know that you have. Now you've got an iPod that can hold 7,500 songs. I don't know when you're going to get round to loading all them on, but I haven't got the time.
Sure.
Busy.
Yeah. Fine, okay. No, that's a perfect excuse, Karl. Well done, mate.
Right.
I just hope that I never have to depend on you in a real emergency.
I had a bit of bad luck as well. I wanted to play REM, and maybe the listener can help me here. Can you email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you know what song I'm thinking of? It's an REM song. I think it's on the album of the last one before. And he says Mulholland Drive, and I'm Steve McQueen. That's all I know. I'm sorry, I can't think of the title, so I need the title to look it up, if you know what I mean. I can't put in like that. I can't put in Mulholland Drive, the system goes, what are you talking about? So I need the actual title of the song to look it up to find it down in the library.
Oh, well, I'd go down yourself if you're going to go down to the library and get that. I wouldn't send Karl, because...
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
But if he wanted to, he did have time, because he came in at 12:20 rather than 5 to 1.
Yeah. No, I told you about that record that I wanted it yesterday, didn't I? So you had 24 hours notice. So that's not really an excuse, is it?
But I did find one of my favourite songs of all time, which is Bones off the Bends album, and it's Radiohead on XFM 104.9.
And here it is, because you gave me lots of time to find it. So.
Sure. Yeah. Could have brought it in himself.
No swearing in it.
Bones. Radiohead. The Bends on XFM 104.9. And thanks to Paul, who's emailed in.
There's a whole bunch of other people.
Lots
Nick,
of people.
We've got Davey, Steve, Ashley.
It's Electrolyte. You know, it all comes flooding back now. We've got that. I've got it out of the library. We're going to play that. That's done. It's interactive. I've used the listener. I've shown the listener, right? I've helped them to help themselves.
Sure.
I've said, if you want to hear it, tell me what it is. They tell me what it is. They're going to hear it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Perfect.
Saves going down the library and, well, we don't...
Yeah, well, we know mistakes can happen if that, you know, if you have to go down the library.
Yeah, and I mean, I checked it, though, to make sure it was the right one, you see. It's just a little bit of...
Well, it's a good rule that, generally, if you pick something up, a CD,
That's
you know,
right,
we want to play on a radio show, a live radio show, you normally check at the back. Oh, no, yeah, that's right, yeah, if you want a job done, do it yourself. You're absolutely right, Karl.
So...
But anyway, look, let's all make friends. Let's kiss and make up.
Yeah, touch and make up.
Yeah.
Let's
just.
Well, I'm up on Karl at the moment because it was my birthday in the week, and not only has he bought me a little vibrating thing to put on the chair because I've got a bad back, so that vibrates. That.
Actually, we can hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do it between records now.
Right. What's that doing to you as you?
It's just it sort of like sends a little pulse into your sort of muscles, relaxes, doesn't it? I've got to relax on air. If I'm relaxed, the listeners relax. We're all happy.
Sure.
He's also got me this little electronic bongos, and I thought we could do like, oh, chimpanzee that, monkey news. So it's like a jungle sort of thing.
Sure. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, that's always been one of the great jingles that even has.
So I've got the vibrating. Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey news!
So, Dr. Fox, if you're listening, I think you'll know that's a clear improvement in this show.
So thank you for those.
It's alright.
Yeah.
What did you get him?
What did I get him? I couldn't get anything, I was too busy buying myself an iPod.
You're joking?
Well, it's a little bit gay, isn't it, giving gifts to blokes?
Yeah, it is, but for someone who's like major...
Yeah.
Play a record!
Someone who's major? What do you mean, someone who's major? Well, because he's a major celebrity?
No, made you.
Oh, made you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy beat. Blur, alright? On XFM 104.9.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I also got, Jane got me a few nice presents, including my favourite of all of them, a real bow and arrow.
A real bow and arrow?
Yeah.
Right. And what, you know, you're going to rob from the rich and give to the poor?
Yeah. I just got to make the little outfit.
You and your merry men.
She's got me like 2 yards of green felt.
Sure, yeah.
And I've just got to find
a
tailor.
tree house.
Someone who can make me a lovely little natty outfit.
Yeah. Why has she bought you a bow and arrow? You live in central London, so where are you going to be using
We've got
this?
a garden, I did it yesterday. I've got my finger though, because I'm a protector, so it's just, it goes so fast, isn't it?
I didn't understand that sentence. I'm here in the studio. I saw you point to your finger, so I'm guessing from that maybe you injured your finger.
Yeah.
For the listener, again, what exactly were you talking about then?
No, because when you put it back, it...
Okay.
So...
And do you have a target? What do you use as a target?
I've got a big cardboard box flat on it, down the tree.
Right.
I go, oh, it's brilliant.
Sure.
I'm getting a bit excited thinking about it.
Yeah, no, indeed.
Because when I make that outfit, I'm going to be running round.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and do you have a picture, like a face maybe on the target, like Osama bin Laden, something like that?
Yeah.
Sure.
No, it just says this way up, fragile.
Right. Okay.
I forget what came in it, but you know, it's good fun, isn't it, Karl? Bow and arrow, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Yeah. Would you like a little bow and arrow?
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah.
I forced out a rifle as a kid.
Did you?
Yeah,
a real one?
Yeah, just shooting cans and stuff. Yeah. It's alright. So.
Well, a wonderful anecdote.
Well, I went out with a drink with Karl in the week, and we went to a restaurant, didn't we, Karl?
It's a good night.
And we sat there, and next to me, when Karl came, next to me was, what's his name? Ross Kemp. And he was sitting there, and I saw Karl, and I tapped him on the shoulder, Ross Kemp on the shoulder, and I pointed to Karl and him, and I said, "It's nice to see you two back together again."
Nice.
And Karl was horrified. But Karl didn't know that I'd already spoken to him before Karl arrived.
Yeah,
so I thought it was okay. I thought I could break the ice because I'd met him before.
Sure.
So he just thought I was insulting him. And in the week we were talking about his little head, weren't we, Karl? And Karl suddenly stopped the conversation and said, "If I had hair, what would we be talking about now?" I think he'd had enough of everyone talking about it. He looked good though. He had a special little do. He had it sort of, cropped a little bit more. I like it when he's just freshly had it done.
Mm.
Do you like? Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you, Steve? If you're somewhere, say if you sat somewhere, does someone sort of, is he anyone else who you look like, or would you say you're a bit of a one-off?
I love these two.
But to be fair, to be fair, he seems to be having to go at me an awful lot more than I do at him now. I mean, he just starts it. Starts it out of nowhere.
I think his is sort of a get back for the way you treat him as a producer, not.
But he's not a producer. If he produced the show, I wouldn't have a reason to criticise. But
I think this is it.
But seriously, I mean, it really winds me up now because, it started as a joke, but now it's abuse.
Yeah. He got annoyed at Heat because it said Karl, producer, well, not so much a producer as just a bald mank. And he went, "Can they say that?
Yeah.
Can they say that?"
See, that's a magazine, an independent publication that's identified what exactly it is you do.
Yeah.
There we go then. Go on, bring it on, because here we go. He's looking at me. I know he's thinking. I can hear the cogs.
I'm not thinking anything.
It's vicious.
No, that is true. Never a true word. Play a record.
Now then, I heard this on VH1 in the week, and I have not been able to get it out of my head, and I really kind of want to get it in everyone else's mind now so they understand the pain I've been going through. Miss You by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
I hope that's now embedded in your brain and you can ruin a week by having to sing that constantly, irritating people in shops and everywhere you go. Miss You by the Rolling Stones.
Good track. Good track. Karl, Jonathan Ross came out of this last week, and we were talking about stuff, and Karl was mesmerised when Jonathan told a story that he was bored once in a hotel room and shaved his arse.
He shaved his arse?
Yeah.
Sure.
And Karl, you didn't stop questioning him, did you, for about...
I just wondered, at what point do you sort of say, "Oh, this is getting on my nerves"? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's way too long, tucking it in his socks or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not, I mean, it is boring in hotel rooms, because I told you before about when I was in Edinburgh and I had nothing to do, there was nothing on the telly, and you've eaten the shortbread biscuits and that.
Yeah.
And so that's when I read the phone book to see how many...
That's when you read the phone book?
Well, to see how many Macs were in Scotland, McAteer, Macintosh,
Sure. Yeah.
and there was 42 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan, I don't know if he'd already done that.
Yeah.
And, he said he shaved his arse.
Now, when we say shaved his arse...
Not his cheeks, his...
Oh, all of it?
Yeah, all of it.
Did he say that?
Well, I think that's...
But other than the cheeks,
But then,
there's not much left.
But then we got to the fact that me and Jonathan, if we pulled our wealth, we could have shaved Karl's arse for £1,000.
Right.
And he said, "Yeah, for £1,000 you can shave my arse." Suzanne said, can I say this bit?
Your girlfriend said what, Karl?
She was annoyed. She says, "Well, I'm not allowed to go there. Why is anyone else?" And of course the whole table stopped and leant in and said, "What?" She went, "He doesn't like me touching him there." I went, "What do you mean?"
This is too much information.
It was too much information.
I like the fact that you've had this conversation with her. I like the idea that she touched your arse once and you went, "Woo, hands off."
Yeah.
I love you, but keep your hands away from the arse.
Do you know why he said he's talking about the most intimate part of the arse, the middle arse he's talking about, and I said, "Why?" He went, "It's a bit gay, isn't it?" I said, "How can a girl touching it be a bit gay?"
If you stood behind it, it could be anyone, doesn't it?
Oh, God. And it seemed, I mean, you can imagine the conversations we were having, right? And it's that thing that the waitress heard something every time she came over. She heard the word, cock on.
Jonathan Ross saying I shaved my arse.
Yeah. And, oh dear. But it was, it was a good night, wasn't it? So it's £1,000 now, isn't it? But presumably you give Suzanne half anyway, so everyone will be happy. You've used the arse to best effect. She's got she's got half out of it, so she's made as much out of your arse as you have, in a sense. Me and Jonathan are happy.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's his arse on the line. So
I know, but I mean, you know, it's just not like she's getting a bum deal.
Well,
she's getting 500, you know, quid.
No, I understand that.
But do you reckon?
Just thinking of some more.
Play a record. Can I just ask, before you play a record, if we were to shave your arse, let's say we did it for charity or something, got sponsorship, how would we do it? Would we use one of those big kind of old-fashioned razors?
No, I'd use a Bic Safety. I'd just straight away.
And would you use a gel or a foam?
No, I first of all, yeah, I think I just lather it up. Right,
so you lather up his arse first?
I do the outside bits, just goes straight down, big broad strokes, clean, right? Then I'd have to go in the crevices, and I'd need an assistant. I'd pop it apart and just very gently go in there. I might even use electronic equipment just so there was no sort of like nicks.
Okay.
So
an electric razor?
Or I might wax the internal middle arse.
How did Jonathan do it? Because he did it on his own, didn't he?
I just use mirrors. Why don't I'll ask him. We'll call him later. But, I don't know.
Well, perhaps you listening have once shaved your arse, maybe during an exam or something.
What I think, and this is conjecture, but I think he was probably there, he'd had a shower, he's shaved his face, right, and thought, oh, he was naked, looks down and goes, oh, what a hairy arse. Well, hold on, I've got the razor in this hand, I've got the mirror there, you know, I'm not on stage for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah.
There's one thing I don't like going on stage with is a hairy arse. Bang, swing, wallop, done. On stage, thanks, see you later. See you next week. Yeah? What are you thinking, Karl?
No, it's just how hairy was it? Do you know what I mean? How hairy was it? Because I imagine, you're saying mirrors and stuff. But he's how old is he now? He's
42.
And they say your testicles drop quite a bit once you start getting old, don't they?
Yeah.
So he's got to make sure they're out of the way.
Yeah, but I don't think I can speak for myself, you know, as a similar race to Jonathan, that, you know, there's millimetres in it. It's not like we tuck them in our socks in the morning. They're still in the same place. You really wouldn't know the difference. If we filmed it in, you know, time-lapse camera, it wouldn't be like a bungee jump. Do you know what I mean? They wouldn't be moving a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you think I told him he's a good-looking fella, Steve. Would you agree with that?
I told Jonathan that he said that he just went for it as well.
Yeah. So you spent a lot of time picturing Jonathan's naked arse.
You'd let him give you money for arse touchery.
Yeah. Whereas your girlfriend's got
no chance, and you're saying he's a good-looking man. Do you want to play a record and think about what you've done?
Interesting. 50 Cent, 21 Questions, new single from him.
Well, me and Karl got a joint favourite lyric now. I love you like a fat kid loves cake.
Yeah.
That's great, isn't it? But, I like it because it's funny and humorous and cheeky. You like it because it means something, don't you? You think that's the absolute truth. If someone was to say that to you, that would be the most romantic thing they could say, innit? Because it's...
No, I'm just thinking you know what it means. It's like the Elephant Man, right? The Elephant Man, that's what he's called. Again, you know what you're going to get. The fat kid loves cake. You've said it all, you don't have to say any more.
I can't believe it. I'll tell you what made his day the other day.
I love it.
Jonathan Ross said The Elephant Man is one of the best films ever made.
Yeah. Endorsed by a celebrity.
I know. Well, by a film buff, really.
It is good though, isn't it?
It is a very good film, yeah.
We have got Cheeky Freak of the Week coming up.
Right.
There's been a lot of stuff going on this week.
In the freak world?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, there's loads. Stuff that we can... The one that hasn't made it.
God, this is what hasn't made it, so we'll judge it on that. Go on.
There's a woman, right? Do you know how, in a way I thought Elephant Man, it was a bit tight because, you know, they sort of took him on a freak show, did a bit of a road show with him and stuff.
Yeah.
There's some woman, I think she's in India, like now, who, makes a lot of money because she's got 3 legs and, 7 toes, stuff. And she was saying, people pay quite a lot of money.
Not Squiddy Patel.
It's not that much money, compared to here, but over there, it's, loads of money.
Sure.
And all you do is, you go around to her house, and you pay this lot of money, and people just go, oh, look at that.
Extra leg.
Extra leg.
Right.
It's quite a lot of money in that.
So she hasn't even got to go out on the road anymore, like in the old days?
No, that's what annoyed me. It's well, you could get to them faster. You go and see them if they're paying the money.
Sure.
Oh.
But yeah, there's...
What she could do is go in and buy a pair of shoes, right, and then nick one on the way out, because they only put one out, don't they?
Good idea.
So she could get, you know, 2, 3 for the price of 2.
Just one of the many perks of having
Just
3
one
legs.
of the perks of having 3 legs. The other one is, I mean, keepy uppy. But she'd be good at that.
Shouldn't do
wouldn't
that. She just stays at home and puts her feet up.
But anyway, that's not even Cheeky Freak of the Week.
That's coming up later.
Coming up later.
Oh, brilliant.
Now, Rockbusters, dead in the water, isn't it? We've killed that off, have we officially?
We killed off Monkey News and Rockbusters.
Didn't I tell you that there was some sort of petition for Monkey News?
Was there? What was the
Caused
story?
a lot of it's loads of emails and that.
You mean
saying-
you've done Monkey News? You mean you want to do Monkey News?
No, but seriously, there's uproar, and people were like, "You can't get rid of Monkey News.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that."
Who sort of what?
Loads of people.
Was it monkeys trying to write the complete works of Shakespeare?
Did Tony Blair get a whiff of it, and he's coming
So
down
we're
like a
doing
ton of
Monkey
bricks?
News. And Rockbusters, Steve, if you've got a better competition, then we'll do yours. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? If that's what you want to do, we'll do. What did you want to do?
No, I was just wondering whether we should perhaps not do a quiz at all rather than do that piece of rubbish. Might be better to have nothing. Might be better just to have silence during that part of the show than have Rockbusters. I don't know.
If I give you the clues and that, and if you think they sound rubbish, we're not doing it.
Well, I know that. I guarantee they're going to sound rubbish. All right, let's make it the last Rockbusters then. This is the last Rockbusters.
Well, it depends. This is it. Okay, this is if it's good, you get a reprieve. It's all about this. Okay.
Okay.
Go on then. Let's do Rockbusters then.
Oh, we're doing it now.
Should we play a record and do it after that?
Do it after. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the prizes and then we'll come back with the clues.
Because I've dug up that REM track,
Excellent.
so it's an interactive show.
Okay, we've got the best summer holiday album ever. What we got on there? It's got
Brilliant.
Elvis versus Junkie XL. That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Holly Valance is on there.
Yeah.
Laz Ketchup. It's all the stuff that the XFM listener is craving. Tribute to the Ramones album. We got Red Hot Chili Peppers are on there. Metallica. Street Legal from Bob Dylan. That's nice.
Brilliant.
Did you just buy that in the 4 for £20 from HMV deal? Fair enough. Once
That's a
again,
good album.
The Talons of Weng Chiang, a Doctor Who classic.
Yeah.
And there's something for the XFM listener, 8 Mile on DVD.
I
as
thought
well.
that was nice, that film. That was the last bit was funny. It's a good film.
And some good rap-offs in that as well.
Yeah.
So let's play a tune and then we'll come back with the Rockbusters clues.
REM, go on. Give it to him. REM, Electrolyte, on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. I walk down Oxford Street every day to go to the office, and it is like running the gauntlet in Gladiator. It's not only is it just like, you know, you have to dodge people and they're dawdling or rushing or, you know, keeping into the road to get past some people but avoiding taxis, but it's like hands everywhere, like leaflets. I don't know, there must be 1 million leaflets given out. It's all
Mobile phones, sandwich shops.
Teach yourself English.
Yeah. Teach other people English.
I know, and those charity people, something for Alzheimer's, and I've been caught about 6 times where I couldn't say no. I've got about 8 standing orders now because I just couldn't say no when they confront you.
Yeah.
Which is, you know,
It's amazing how often I'm on the way to a meeting.
yeah,
I'm always on the way to a meeting, and then I always feel guilty if I walk past them again 2 minutes later with a HMV bag.
yeah, full.
Yeah, exactly, crammed with bargains.
I know, yeah.
No,
But,
it's actually weird. They're like zombies. It's like you're fighting them off. You need a flaming torch to
Yeah.
get past them. Or if it's not them, it's tourists. Just constantly, you know, excuse me, can you take my photo outside HMV? Or outside Topshop?
that doesn't happen to me a lot.
I always seem to have tourists. Just in the way, just kind of dawdling, you know, looking up at the
so
buildings.
fast. I walk so fast. I put my head down and I just try and walk so fast everywhere now because it's But Oxford Street is just it's unbelievable now, and I think it's age that I've started noticing. Even if the window's open, and I hear just like cars and they're on the mobile phone. It's the loudest place in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know what we can do.
Well, isn't it one of the busiest streets in? Is it either the world,
The universe?
It is mental.
I think if we carpeted it.
That would
And
help,
put some
certainly.
curtains up. It would just deaden. It's like pubs with those polished floors and metal tables, and everyone's having to talk like that to be heard. The jukebox is quite loud, and I want to go just turn everything down.
Yeah.
Let's put some carpet down. Just talk quietly like this.
Yeah.
To put the music down a little bit. We'll have a good time.
I've never quite understood that impulse. I don't, again, if it's age, where you go in a club or a pub, as you say, and the music's just slightly too loud. So it just makes everything slightly tricky. It's slightly tricky to have a conversation.
But what annoys me is when it's for the amusement of the barman or barmaid.
Yeah.
If they're bored, they're in a pub, they've got the music up, their music up,
Yeah.
right, techno blaring, right, they've got a telly on watching a soap opera,
Yeah.
and I want to go, choose one or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you watching?
I got a minicab last night. I imagine you don't travel in minicabs, but the guy driving, one of those guys, I know he's driving a cab on a Friday night. Okay, no one wants to be doing that. And he had one of those phone, the little earpieces that you put in, so it looks like they're talking to themselves. And he's there, and he goes, where are you going? I went, oh, crouching. He went, and he's chatting on his mobile phone the whole time. His voice was so loud, he had the radio on as well, and he wasn't concentrating on the road. I just thought, look, I'm paying you £10 here to take me somewhere. Please, just stop chatting or arranging your social life for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Get me to my destination safely, and then you can resume your conversation.
My favourite one is, I'm going to so-and-so terrace, please. Where's that? I want to go, right. You're not taking me then.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't drive. I'm paying you.
That's why I'm paying you. That's got to be part of the service.
But, I mean, I know people who've been in many cabs, didn't know where I was, and didn't have an A to Z.
No, I was in East London once. I said to him, I'm going to North London. He went, where specifically? I went, Swiss Cottage. He went, sure. I said, do you know the way? He went, yeah. Set off. Along the way, he went, do you know the way? That's why I thought you knew. I said, have you not got an A to Z? He went, no. He was one of those guys who'd just taken his car out middle of the night. That was all he had. All he had, all his credentials were he had a car. No map, no torch. The two other things I bring with me. And he said, so we're driving along. He went, I could probably get you to Camden. I was like, okay. He went,
It's a start. I mean, that is the start.
Exactly. He went, do you know the way to Camden? I thought, pull over. It's not worth it. I'd rather hitchhike. I'd rather walk. Ludicrous. Those people who just go out.
Yeah, they just take a car out to earn a
I
fiver.
bought a car.
Oh, have you ever done that?
No, well, I'm sick of living here. And you say about people hassling you.
When you say here, you mean the world, don't you?
No, just in London is doing me head in now. The other week, actually, walking home from here, and like you say, there's always someone hassling you, saying, do you want to buy this? Do you want one of these? Going down Carnaby Street, right?
There's your first mistake.
He said, into meditation. So I was like, and I had a bit of time to kill, so I thought I'll have a chat, right?
Have you got time? Oh, we've never got time. We're too busy.
Yeah, I thought you were too busy before.
Well, I said, what's all that then? What do you do? And he said, we teach you how to breathe. I was like, well, I'm 30. I think
Yeah.
I've done all right. And he sort of said, forget it.
Forget it.
I'm 30.
And in Selfridges, they do, like Evian or whatever, that water company are there. And they've got like little glasses of water. And you walk past and go, have you ever tried this? It's water.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. We'll try it. You go, Jesus Christ, is that what water is? What have I been drinking then? You've been drinking piss and mud. Have I? I'll have a bottle.
Anyway, listen, Rockbusters.
Oh, come on then.
Let's get it done.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on then.
Right, so cryptic clues and initials, you work it out, it's a band and stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
Brilliant.
First one.
Bob Holness.
The first clue, the doctor said part of the foot and the leg was no good, so he took him off and he threw him away. Right, that's the clue, the initials TB. TB, right? The doctor said part of the foot and the leg was no good, so he took them off and threw them away. Second one, the Scottish monster has got a bit of a tan. Right, the Scottish monster has got a bit of a tan.
Okay.
That's TD, right? And the last one, well, the 60s singer had a heart attack whilst he was having it away. We won't be seeing him again. Right, and that's FNM. FNM. Well, the 60s singer's had a heart attack. He was having it away. We won't be seeing him again. Email in. Ricky.Gervais.
Remember, this is to save Rockbusters. If people don't get this, right, it's no more. So you better, if you want this feature to stay, you better get the clues.
Right?
Good work, Karl. We'll give those clues again after the next tune. What are we playing?
Don't listen to
Yeah.
Oh, you love it, don't you? You love it.
Good, it's a good stomping pop #1 rock.
XFM.
Jane's Addiction, just because I think things are rocking up.
They are indeed.
Rocking up in the land this year, Steve.
Yes, that's good news, I think.
Evanescence, them, The Darkness, Rock fantastic. XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington of a Saturday.
Can I just say that the shaving your arse feature from earlier, if you missed that, that was 1:30. That was a discussion on shaving your arse.
Yeah.
It was great stuff. That seems to have caught the public imagination. We've had so many emails. We've had someone telling us exactly how to shave your arse.
Yeah.
So if you need that information, I can probably forward it to you.
Well, I think this will be the year of rock and arse.
Exactly. But it's extraordinary how, just a simple discussion like that you would think perhaps was crass, crude.
Mind you, our listeners do like Karl talking about monkeys.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like it's something to be proud of. It's not like we changed a nation or freed a people or found a cure for something. We hit them in their, at their level with monkeys and arses.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what our listeners love.
Yeah. Monkeys and arses.
Yeah.
We should put that on the poster.
And they go together, because I joined the zoo last Sunday, went down and became friends of the zoo, right?
Oh, right, I thought maybe you had to sit in a cage for
that thing happened. I went straight for the chimps,
of course,
right? And there's sort of like 3 big sort of adult ones there, and there's people with their kids, and I could see the people just putting their kids away as one of them went up and started putting his face up the other one's arse.
Sure.
And it was sort of like, I just can't be bothered to explain this to my children. Exactly. So I was just moving my, oh, come on then, there's the lions. You're going to have a look at the lions.
Yeah.
What are they doing? They're just sniffing each other's asses.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember when I used to go to the zoo, I always felt there were certain animals that weren't getting a look in, really, that no one was particularly interested in.
The tapir.
Exactly. We were going straight to the snakes. We were interested in birds.
So
I don't remember being particularly interested in birds.
Big cats, although it's a bit depressing. Great apes. Reptile, you're right, reptiles, birds, unless it's a big one that you think could rip a dog apart.
Yeah, a vulture
you go,
or an eagle,
brilliant. Yeah, exactly, owls are brilliant.
Owls great, but
I've always wanted a little owl on my desk. I'd like to be doing work and there'd be a little owl there, and I go, can you give me that pencil? And it just sort of goes over and gets me a pencil, goes, cheers, and it just watches me and it thinks I'm brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
Not really, no.
No?
No, I've never had an urge to have any kind of animal sat on my desk.
No, Karl? You'd like a little owl, wouldn't you? That helped you?
No, I had a little magpie, didn't I? We've talked about that.
Oh, he came down and started pecking your grifter, didn't he?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Maggie.
Sure.
Brilliant. And you took it to school and it didn't come back once,
Didn't come back. Didn't see it again.
Oh, dear. Did it ever peck your head? Because you used to have hair, didn't you? Yeah.
No, it did. It started getting a bit violent.
Really?
Yeah.
But was it becoming sort of age when adolescents, probably sexual frustration sort, because I think magpies go for shiny objects, don't they? And you were probably sort of probably losing it a little bit then in the front, and so when the sun was out,
there's a bit of a sheen on the front.
They saw a glare and thought, I'll have that. Yeah. What is that? That's brilliant.
Yeah. Or as it was sort of pecking away, it mistook it for a tree.
Yeah, because of the noise.
Because of the noise. Yeah, the hollow sound.
I squeezed his head yesterday.
We should just point out, if you're a new listener to XFM, you might not realise that one of Ricky's many sexual peccadillos, I'm assuming it's a sexual thing, I can't justify it any other way, is to just squeeze Karl's head.
Yeah.
Front-wise, sidewise.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's sexual or, like when you've got a little kitten, you want to squeeze his little face. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that, Karl?
Yeah, I said that before, squeeze a little head.
Yeah, exactly, and I feel that with you, because it's sort of like, he gives so much. Look at Karl's face, he gives so much. It is like he can understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
And that's what the connection is, I think, between me and Karl and other animals.
It's like he can understand what we're saying.
But I squeezed it yesterday, and Karl went, I definitely had something crack.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to see how hard I can squeeze it.
Yeah, I think that was you just thinking, Karl. To be fair. I think the cogs just started to... No, I mean, I think there is a danger, because I think there is a danger that you could squeeze it too much.
Yeah, I know. He did a good deed today, the other day, didn't you? Yeah.
What were you up to?
You were just, you were talking about, like, being hassled in the street and stuff. And, I get hassled a lot by the homeless.
Don't we all?
You should go home to sleep. Yeah. I'm here, mate.
But no, I do treat them a lot.
You treat them. I love that. You had a good day? Yeah. You've been good? Yeah. There you go. That's 50p.
Suzanne does the Save the Children thing. You were talking about, charities hassling you all the time. She does that. And I sort of say, well, you do that. I'll look after you.
You'll take care of the homeless.
I'll take care of the odd tramp around where I live.
And how do you treat them?
Loads of different ways. 50p I might give them.
Yeah.
Or I might, they'll sort of say, have you got any money? I'll say, what for? And they'll go, I'm really thirsty. So I'll go, well, hang on a minute, and I nip in and get them a little Diet Coke.
Sure, a Diet Coke?
Yeah, they want to watch their weight.
Yeah. They're going full fat. Oh, what an insult.
Yeah, exactly.
To a man like me.
Yeah.
I'd rather treat them than because a lot of people spend money on, you know, problems abroad and stuff.
Right.
Oh,
I just think, you know.
Yeah, famine
I'm
relief
just
and
saying.
Oh, God. Like what? What do you mean? Like famine relief?
Well, you do get sick of it, don't you? You know what I mean? It's that.
You get sick of
No,
it.
I'm just saying.
Wait. Go
No,
on.
I'm just.
I know. Just let whatever you do now, Steve. Don't interrupt because I'm scared, but I just think it's worth it. There's so many issues. There's freedom of speech.
Yeah.
There's we're not responsible.
Yeah.
There's he'll get away with it because he's a buffoon.
Yes.
And it is entertaining.
Exactly.
So go
So
on.
what's
Carl.
your
All I'm saying is, you're saying, you know, who do I give me money to? Is it you know, little, you know, sick kids or whatever, or is it old people or whatever?
HMV. That's where he gives his money to.
Particularly, they get a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, I just get sick of, you know, problems abroad. It's like, what do you do? What do you do with famine and that? What are you meant to do? How can you solve it? It's gone on for years.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going. We keep giving them money. They keep spending it.
And you're not getting any return for your cash.
Well, it's just how many times, you know, they've got to learn.
What do you mean they've got to learn? What, you're going to teach them a lesson?
What do you mean they've got to learn? What do you mean?
Well, what are they doing with it? They must have, like, better interest accounts or something where, you know, look after, put the money in the right things.
Sorry, do you think that Bob Geldof sort of writes him a cheque? He goes over and he's in the helicopter and there's millions of them, and they go, it's Geldof from Boomtown Rats.
Brilliant.
I go,
If there's one man that can help us.
yeah, I hope he doesn't sing. He's not going to sing. He's got some money for us. And he comes down and he goes, do you want a cheque or do you take Switch? They go, we don't take Switch. He goes, there's a cheque. They get
He's
things
doing
like...
it again, though, isn't he, as well? I
Is
mean,
he?
I like, you know, he used to work here, Bob. He's a lovely fella and that. But,
Yeah, he's a lovely man.
but how many times can you save the world? You know,
Yeah.
he's over there again helping out, and it's like, well, you know, what do you do?
Are you saying don't bother because it keeps happening?
Not well, I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? I'm not daft.
But that's what you're thinking.
And Carl, you are daft.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what the answer is. Do you know what I mean?
So you're just saying wash your hands of the whole affair, leave them to it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Are you really just saying it's sort of, it's nature, it's tough luck, just don't interfere? Like a wildlife programme. Is that what you're saying? Don't interfere.
Are you basically you're saying it's not my concern?
This has got a bit heavy. Can we do Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Let's play a record.
Oh, God!
My, hey, hey, out of the blue from the album Rust Never Sleeps by Neil Young.
Such a brilliant song.
Oh, he's a great musician.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's incredible. I think we're playing Neil Young track a week.
Okay.
From now until Christmas.
Brilliant, okay.
Alright?
Excellent.
On XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Dragon with Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
We were talking about the homeless. I saw a homeless guy in the week as I was walking down Finchley Road, and he was peering in the window of one of the Dixons or something like that, just checking out the details on one of those cable TV packages. And I thought, one step at a time. I mean, firstly, I don't know, start eating your dinner off a plate.
Yeah.
And then work your way up to, you know, a house, a home, a widescreen TV,
A roof.
digital television. But it's odd.
Well, that might answer one of the questions. 'Cause I keep getting recognised by homeless people, and I never know what to say. I go, oh, is your... I think, well, either they're not really homeless, and they've, you know, I don't know, they've got sort of digs or something, and they watch television, or the scariest one is that they've become homeless in the last few months since the office. And I think, oh God, that's really scary. Or they are watching it in Dixon's. They're queuing out going, the office is on tonight.
yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Going out to Dixon's.
Or they think you're one of them.
Or that, well, I am.
'Cause I mean, the way you dress.
Well, no, some that are probably not quite, got their faculties, so maybe a little bit worse for wear, think they recognise me. And they whole scenarios where they're going, remember we were chatting, I was going, yeah, how are you? And it's just they recognise someone.
Right, yeah.
But that's a bit weird. But I mean, I think that's the worst thing. On a serious note, it is outside health. We're talking about charity, and I don't know, I sort of, got these stand orders where I've been sort of caught in the street. But the ones that I'd choose, I'd always think, charity is what touches you. You can't change the world, but you can change your bit. So cancer, obviously, because I'm so I give to cancer. And I think outside health, the next one must be being homeless. Because there's nothing you can do. It's got everything. You're scared, bewildered, you're cold, hungry. It's just everything. Even if you're healthy and homeless, eventually you're not going to be.
But I do feel bad because, you know, I always feel that I want to give to the health charities, like cancer, for instance, because there's that fear that I might get it.
Well, yeah, it's not just that. It's just like, yeah, if you're not healthy, that's the first thing, isn't it? If your life's being threatened, there's nothing else you can really worry about.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know if that makes it wrong, though, that I'm sort of, it's like I'm investing in a possible future.
Yeah. Well, not really, because it's the same for everyone, isn't it? But, you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
I saw a homeless guy as well, looking through the bins, but he wasn't pulling out food and scraps, he was pulling out newspapers. Just having a read.
Yeah.
I always found that odd. I see that a lot, homeless guys. I don't know if they're just checking out the TV listings. When he finally gets his...
When's the office
cable,
on?
Yeah,
the office, they've moved it. They've moved it to Choice and UK Gold.
I don't blame him, because, I mean, there is some cracking stuff on cable TV. There's great stuff. But I was flipping through the other day, and on digital TV, you can see what other shows are on while you're watching something. I was flipping through, and there was one, and it was called... Now, when are you ever in the mood to watch a TV show called I Survived a £200 Tumour?
When was that on?
Because it seems to me that if you've got a £200 tumour, you probably want to watch something else that'll take your mind off it, Big Brother or whatever.
I'm not £200.
Well, I can't imagine what this is.
A £200 tumour.
It must have been an error. £200 tumour?
It must have been a £200 tuna. It was probably someone fell in the water.
Yeah.
And it came
I survived a £200 tuna.
Yeah, and it was just a spelling mistake.
Sure.
A £200 tumour.
That's like, isn't that like kind of having
That's
Mr.
another
T
person. That is another person.
Yeah.
Maybe, oh my God, maybe it was all his life they told him it was a Siamese twin. But someone had just painted a little face on it when he was at school.
Just drawn a little face
Exactly,
on it.
yeah, and they go, it's not your twin brother. I goes, isn't it? He goes, no, it's a tumour. We better take it off. It's £200.
£200.
That can't be right. You sure it wasn't £20 tumour?
I'm assuming that's what it probably would have been. But it was certainly £200 on the digital thing. Maybe that's a mistake.
That's great, isn't it? They're trying to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
It's someone at Karl got there. £20 tumour. Let's make it 200. At least they're watched.
Exactly.
That's what I'd be like, though. I wouldn't want to go to the doctors. You know what I'm like?
A £200 tumour.
I know. It's just that thing. I mean, you know what I'm like. I don't like... it depends where it is as well. Taking your clothes off and all that. There's the pressure in it.
You don't like anything being touched, do you? I remember when he said he doesn't check his balls, he doesn't like the feel. That's live with me. He doesn't like the feel. I think, do you mean that you don't like what it feels like in your balls when you're fiddling with them? Because I imagined it that you meant you don't like the feel, i.e. in your fingertips, you don't like the feel of your balls.
It's the thing of, you start thinking about what you're actually touching, and there's something in there, and you might break them and all that. I don't like
Break them? They are delicate. I am scared with the little knobbly bits, yeah.
What knobbly bits? But I'll tell you what, it's that thought at the doctor's. It's that thing of, it's not taking your clothes off in front of him, right? It's the way you've got to take your clothes off, but he asks you to go behind that curtain to do it first. Yeah. So there's more pressure because then you come walking out with nothing on. Yeah. So it's like, why do you ask me to go behind there?
Yeah.
Rather than if I just sat there having a chat and he's going, so how have you been? It's like, all right, and just taking the pants off. And then
exactly. Yeah.
It's the pressure.
Don't take your clothes off, and you came out and he lit a candle, and there was some soft music on.
The lights were down.
Nice.
Yeah. Or he said, if it'll make you feel more relaxed, I'll take my clothes off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I'll do it in the form of a striptease.
Now, Karl, I'm going to ask you the question, knowing the answer. What do you think of maybe a gay doctor just checking his testicles out? He's a professional. He just happens to be gay.
That would never happen, would it?
What are you talking about? Why not?
Oh, speaking of...
Go on, doctors.
No, gay people and that. Do you know when we discussed gay-only toilets?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's only... it looks like it's coming into action.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
No way.
It was mentioned again.
Where? On... your head.
No, I think...
Do you think that people in positions of power are listening to this show getting ideas from you?
Tony Blair.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? No, it really does. And the funny thing is, why are they getting upset? Why are gay people getting upset that they might have to have their own toilets?
Karl, you don't know what you're talking about anymore.
You're having a sly look.
You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, can we have Cheeky Freak after this?
If you want.
Placebo. This picture on XFM 104.9. Steve, you're thinking of taking over as producer, aren't you?
Well, I just think it's a shambles. I've asked for Cheeky Freak of the Week, and it appears that Karl's not ready. He's not prepared.
No, I can sort of remember it. He's just, I like to have all the information.
Contempt for
But
the
you've just
listener.
you've just had a whole bunch of adverts and placebo in order to get it ready.
We're shouting, we're having a shout and that.
Right, do you want to sort yourself out in future?
Yeah. That's what we were chatting about. Someone emailed in about they watched the £200 tumour thing, and when it was removed, it was carried away in a wheelbarrow, right? Karl said, what, even when she had it removed, she still carried it round in a wheelbarrow? And he went, I thought it's sort of like she'd become attached to it. You definitely are my favourite thing in the world. It's great. Look at the way he's looking back.
But I think they're all the same. The people, I have had more emails about people saying I watched the £200 tumour
and I shaved me arse
than anything else. When we ask questions
we come
about
up with science,
Shakespeare,
we talk,
nothing,
high
science.
concept, we talk about political issues.
One person emailed in, they said, I tuned into the £200 tumour documentary. It looked disgusting, I couldn't watch for long. What were you expecting?
Yeah.
That they might sing and dance? Do a little show for you? Anyway,
these are really your listeners, Karl. Now I think do you know what I mean? You sort of, you find your niche, you attract your. I think me and Steve are pretty much just here.
I think the people that we had in the early days, Rick, they've long since abandoned us. They jumped ship.
They've got jobs.
Fans. Yeah,
they've got jobs. They're out now. They've been released.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're getting their life back together.
Karl,
Come on then,
what's the
Karl.
situation with Cheeky Freak?
I've got like a couple of bits. Like I say, I haven't got the in-depth stuff that I know.
Oh no, because usually it's it's
Heavily
pretty scientific. Exactly. Yeah. Do the jingle. We've come up with a new one, haven't we?
The Freak, say chic.
Cheeky Freak of the week.
Right. Well, couple of bits. I don't know which one to use as the main feature for this week.
It's not good, is it?
Well, there's been another one born.
What?
Little kid.
Who won?
4 eyes.
Insult. Just a guy who wears glasses. Come on.
4 eyes, 2 noses, 2 mouths. That's weird, isn't it?
This bloke, did he also have 2 heads, 2 bodies, sort of born sort of slightly separately?
He wasn't stood next to a mirror.
No, it's weird, that, isn't it?
That's all you've got.
I love that. That's weird. I imagine the doctor said that. Well, Mrs. Parks, kid's got 4 eyes and 2 noses. Weird, isn't it? Any clues? Any clues?
So that's it. That's all the
one.
information.
Well, I'll tell you what,
No, but
that
again-
shouldn't be the main one. Okay, I've answered
but
it.
like I say, what's the idea of this feature? What do I say all the time?
Don't know.
I always say, think about it. Think about what that would be like.
Okay.
What? Giving birth to him?
No. Being, I think it's a girl. Being like her. 2 mouths. 4 eyes. What would that be like? Mad, innit?
I don't know what this feature is.
I don't know why. Is there another one? Is that, you said that?
I hope everyone took the opportunity there during that silence to just think about what it would be like. I know I was.
What?
Could she talk with a mouthful?
What?
Is that allowed?
Because she's got 2 mouths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be alright in her house?
She'd be eating
Yeah,
one,
she could talk with one mouth and eat with the other, I
Right, well,
suppose.
listen, the main one, right? You've thought about that. That's good. The main Cheeky Freak of the week. I haven't got all the details. Smallest person ever. Right? How big would you say that is?
Karl is now sort of like holding his hands up like a fisherman, long ways. That's about 1 foot.
Right. Smallest man in the world. I printed the thing off and I can't find it. There's a little picture of him. Right? The odd thing was...
But why have you asked me how... Did it say, or was it a picture of him?
I didn't really read it.
Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't.
Jesus.
I just saw it and thought, that's...
What, you
that's
straight away
sorted.
assumed it was natural size?
It was that big.
But what do you mean it was that big?
Little fella, like that.
But why are you doing that? What? It was a page with a little fella. How do you know that was natural size?
No, it was, because he said it's world's smallest man. And the funny thing is, I've read the first line. I always read the first line. It said, world's
Well
smallest
done.
man.
Well done.
The weird thing is, he got an head like a light bulb. The shape of it, apparently. I don't know if that's got anything to do with his shape and size.
God.
That big.
His name's Mr. Watts.
And the annoying thing is, what got me is, if you're that big,
Yeah.
right, don't have your picture taken next to a fruit bowl.
Why was he having his photo taken next to a fruit bowl?
Don't know. Whoever the photographer was, obviously having a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
At his expense. Because you would just stand in the middle of nowhere, you'd look normal and that, but he was stood there, just leaning on an apple.
Leaning on an apple?
What is this? In what world do you you inhabit?
No, this was on the internet. And I printed it off.
Leaning on an apple?
Was it Tom Thumb? What is this? Are you sure it wasn't some sort of sci-fi show they're advertising?
No, it was
Leaning on it. Can you just lean on the apple? Just lean on the apple there. Do me a favour, you stand next to my chihuahua. You're not taking the piss, are you? No, not at all, no. Would you mind leaning on this matchbox?
Yeah.
Leaning on an apple. And that's what, so it just said he's the world's smallest man leaning on an apple.
smallest man. Said about his head being like a light bulb. I don't know what that meant. And I just thought, right, that'll do. That's that sorted. Cheeky Rig of the Week done. I think that was on like Monday. Right? I found that. I thought that's done. Printed it off. Forgot to get it off the photocopier. Someone's nicked it.
Play a record.
You got to...
You know, it's just, Steve.
No, can I just say
there's
no,
no
Carl,
point.
please,
There's no
if
point.
I say, let's have Cheeky Freak of the Week, and you haven't done your research, you haven't got the information, just tell us you can't do it. But don't lead us on.
Don't say things
in
like
this
on
charade.
radio, hold your hand up to me and go, how tall is that?
It's nothing.
That's
This is
radio.
nothing.
It's nothing. I think it was that big because he was leaning on an apple.
It's not enough information.
But, imagine Trevor McDonald coming on, going, some news, some stuff. How big's that? How big do you think that is?
Yeah.
Because there was a fella, coming up after Chris Tarrant. Play a record.
I'm angry. I'm actually angry. And if Monkey News is in any way similar, you've really pulled your finger out with that, have you? Mm-hmm. Good. Let's have Rockbusters answers next.
Supersonic. Oasis on XFM 104.9. Right. Getting through it. It's the Rockbusters. It's the Rockbusters results, really, because this is a very important result. It's whether they stay in the Premiership or are relegated. This is the playoffs for Karl. Okay? You need 3 points. You need 3 points to stay up, Karl. Go on.
Right, had a lot of right answers in that.
Right, okay, that's in your favour. You know. Okay.
The first clue was the doctor said part of the foot and the leg was no good, so he took them off. He threw them away.
Yeah.
The initials TB.
Yeah.
Right.
Go on.
Tony Bennett. Alright, that's Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a warning. That's a yellow card. That is a yellow card, but you can still get the points.
Right.
Because his name's not Bennett. Tony, brilliant. Tony, perfect. A pun. Knee, his name's Tony. Perfect. Bennett, no, his name's Bennett. See?
Well, he's in London this week as well, so I don't know if it's sold out. I won't mind.
Are you on drugs? Or did I actually crack your head? Did I actually give you some brain damage? Because you're worse than usual now. It's like, go on.
Right, the second one. That Scottish fella.
We've got to speed this show
No,
up.
hang on a minute, hang on. I've just got to make sure it's right. We don't want to look stupid. Right? That Scottish monster has got a bit of a tan.
I don't think we can look stupid with material like this.
TD, that Scottish monster's got a bit of a tan. The answer there, the darkness.
I'll give you that.
Right?
Well done.
And the last one.
Goal.
The 60s singer, he had a heart attack the other way whilst having it away. You won't be seeing him again. The initials FNM. That's Faith No More. Adam Faith. Right?
No! Doesn't count!
Why not? Adam Faith No More. Right?
Adam Faith No More. So, sorry, what is the clue? Is the clue Adam Faith, or is it Faith No More?
It's Faith, I suppose. Just Faith No More. He's a 60s singer. So we got that. That's that. Safe for next week. Who's the winner?
What do you make of it? You've got the deciding vote, Rick.
Well,
Come on.
I mean, you know my feelings.
it works Faith No More, but he's mixed up what cryptic is in that, because the fella, I mean, Adam Faith did actually die having it away, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it's all about him.
It's all right. All the facts are right.
Anyway.
Okay, I think he's got a reprieve. I think I'll give it to him. I think I've got to give it to him, Steve. I think I have. He actually pulled that out of the bag, that one. There's no Jamaican fellas seeing icebergs or, Whitney Houston. The closest he came to is Bennett, and I'll let him off that. I've got to be a fair ref here.
Well, fair enough, and well done to, I'm always a fan of names that for some reason just strike me or tickle me.
Yeah.
And this week the lucky winner is, Dave Suckling. There's nothing amusing about that.
Oh dear.
So well done to Dave Suckling.
Okay. Suckling wins it. Suckling takes the prize.
He takes the prizes, and well done to him. I guess there's more of that next week, and we're fast approaching the end of the show, Rick. I know you are excited about that, as am I.
Well, I know, but the best to come, because we've still got Bruce Springsteen coming up now, followed by Monkey News.
All right, Monkey News
it's
after
amazing. What an amazing show this is. Shape. Oh, chimpanzees at Monkey News!
Excellent. So, Monkey News time on XFM. Karl Pilkington, the man in the hot seat. Karl, what have you got for us?
Okay, Monkey News this week. We've covered a lot of stuff.
We have indeed.
Now, do you know, like, there's places where you can go for, like, weekend rests and stuff,
Sure.
and you relax, you sit in a little spa, you might have a swim and stuff. Well, they've got a place done for monkeys.
Of course they have.
Right, they can go there, they relax, forget about all the stuff they've got going on in their head. They can have a manicure,
Right.
got nice meals,
It's not called a manicure, though. It's called a chimpacure.
beauty
them.
treatments.
Yeah.
Right, they look good and stuff.
Yeah, well, look good, feel good, yeah.
Now, you might think, well, that's pretty normal.
Well,
The bit I haven't told you about is it's actually run by a couple of chimps.
Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, God, you're a maniac!
right.
Oh, for Christ! Oh.
Let's just...
That's like a couple of chimps!
Let's just...
Of course it's not!
No, it is, because think about it, right?
No, not think about it. What do you mean, yes, it is? Of course it's not run by a couple of chimps. What do they do, get a loan?
Right, if a chimp wants to have a rest,
Yeah.
where would you go to? A place that's run by humans that don't know what chimps' needs are?
No! My point is this, how did they get it together? How did two chimps, Mr. and Mrs. Chimp, went for a loan and said, I'll tell you what we need, a spa.
I think it started off quite simple, right? Just you know, basic stuff.
But they've expanded over time because it's become so popular.
It's gone mental down there.
Sure.
Go!
They've all heard about it. Now, the thing is, the problem is this, right? That isn't even the top and bottom of it, right?
Oh, Christ.
The problem is, it's been going on and on and on, right? It's been earning a lot of money and stuff. The monkeys are happy. The monkeys that go there are loving it. They're telling friends and stuff. They're all coming to it. Now, the problem is, it's this little monkey, little man monkey and a little woman monkey, right?
Yeah.
It was sort of girlfriend and boyfriend.
Sort of. It's an open relationship. They can play around if they want.
Well, the problem is they're not married, right? Now,
trouble brewing.
the lad monkey, fella monkey, he's getting quite old.
Mm.
And the problem is, because it's his name that's down on all the stuff.
Karl,
all the forms.
actually,
Let him finish.
I'm getting scared now.
Let him finish.
It's his name on the business. And the problem is his missus is kind of like, what's going to happen?
Sure.
Where
If
are
he
you
passes away.
getting this from?
Internet.
Karl, I don't know where to start.
No.
This is the...
Can we just hear the end?
This is ridiculous.
So the problem is, the
Female
girl-
monkey is worried that the male monkey
she's worried.
is
What's
going to die.
going to happen with the business? What's going to happen?
Of course.
Right now,
What do you mean, the business?
the health
There isn't a
spa-
business. It's a joke.
Health
Rick,
spa.
you're not listening. His name's on the form. The male monkey's name, it's in his name.
Now the problem is, the woman monkey has got some kids, but because they're not blood relatives, it's not going to be handed down to them. And the court,
They're kids from a previous monkey marriage?
yeah.
Right.
So that they're not going to get it. Let me just check this out.
Yeah, otherwise you don't want to check the facts, otherwise you could look like a twat spouting shit on the radio. Please check the facts for scientific
And
security.
they're just a bit worried because they're saying that the people in Ohio, which is where they've got the little health thing going on.
So that makes it more believable that it's Ohio. Mm-hmm. I thought you meant it was Berkshire, in which case it would be rubbish.
It looks like the local people are trying to get in there. They've seen the success of it.
Sure.
And they're
They want a
trying
piece
to
of
go
the
in and
action.
take it over and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Give me the piece of paper.
Throw it away. Play a record. That's the worst. That's the worst one I've ever heard. And there's something wrong with you. You're educationally subnormal.
Final tune from us, Tim Buckley. Lovely song called Wings. Back next week?
Yeah.
Yeah. See you, Karl.
Oh, proper rock band. Best band since Thin Lizzy. The Darkness.
Well, it's big words.
Growing on Me. XFM 104.9.
Bit rash, I think.
R. Gervais. S. Merchant. K. Pilkington. With a little bit of... I know for a fact that Steve is getting a little bit sick of Karl's attitude.
Oh, his attitude's appalling.
I quite like it though, because it's straight away friction, and he's sort of like, you know.
To be fair, I genuinely don't think I'm the culprit in this. I think I come in and I just ask him a simple request, and immediately on my back, whinging, moaning, whining. I don't know if there's any evidence.
Well, it's funny you say that actually, because in a survey, it came up this week. It's quite extensive. Mancunians take more sick days than anyone else. Mancunians take more sick days than workers in any other city in Britain and Ireland, according to Manchester-based employment firm. Survey by Peninsula found employees in Manchester take 11 sick days per year, whereas closest rivals Edinburgh and Dublin take an average of 9. Liverpool, Newcastle, Birmingham, and Cardiff only 8.
Is Reading mentioned there? Or
no,
Bristol?
it's not even in there. They don't take days off. London is only 7. So the point is, I mean, I don't know if you can take anything from it, but if you were an employer and you had a Mancunian and a Liverpudlian and they were equal on everything else, but you really couldn't afford them to be away, Liverpudlian's going to probably be away for 8 days.
Sure.
The Manc's going to be away for 11, phoning in sick. And
so what can you? I mean, just analysing the data there. What would you extrapolate from that?
I really don't know. I mean, call in if you've got any clues, or email us in if you've got any. I don't know why they. I think maybe. I don't know. Mancunians.
I don't really know many people from Manchester.
Well, I only know one, but I know he was off sick because he put on wet trousers and he got
a cold, I think.
Yeah. Well, he just said he was. Didn't come in for. Yeah. He left early as well once.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, that's the survey. I don't know. I mean, it's evidence because it's statistics. So there you go.
It's guaranteed evidence that's proof.
Any thoughts on that, Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk?
I mean, oddly enough, you're from Manchester, Karl.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
On what? Sorry?
No, on the survey.
Wasn't really listening.
Sure.
Well, Mancunians take off more sick days. They call in sick. I mean, presumably spuriously.
Yeah.
I mean, because they've got the same body. They're biologically the same. So
they're obviously making up. They're lying.
Yeah. Some of the days, maybe there's just the 3 extra they're making up.
Yeah, they're moaning.
Probably because we work a lot harder than the others, so we're tired, so you're sick, so you need time off. Probably.
Seems unlikely.
I mean, the Scousers, to be honest, take them on, let them work in your office. But you know how many computers are going to go missing?
Right, that.
So offensive.
Is offensive.
Right.
This is a survey that proved. You just made that up. You just carried on the myth that Liverpudlians thieve. Now that's not true. That is not true.
Well,
it's not.
Well, some of them do.
There's been no survey that you're more likely to thieve if you're from Liverpool than if you're in Manchester. So that hasn't been proven yet. So all I've got is the evidence from a survey of, I think, 3,500 people. It's proof that Mancunians take off more sick days. XFM 104.9. This is April Come She Will by Simon and Garfunkel. Simon and Garfunkel, April Come She Will. A lovely love song there. The X-List was all about sort of like sexy songs because of death of Barry White, of course. And Karl and Steve having a little argument. Steve said, well, there are such thing as sexy songs, of course. Karl said, I can't understand it. How can something be sexy? How can you woo one with a song? Steve went, well, you don't woo one with it, you just put it on the background. Karl said, stick the telly on.
Stick the telly on.
I love that.
You don't believe there's any such thing as a sexy song, is that right?
I don't think it can get you in the mood. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're either in with a chance or you're not. I don't think it matters what song you put on.
Well, I don't think it ups your chances. I don't think if
it does. If you put Channel 5 on a Friday night, right, see a little bit of that action, gets anyone going. It's worked for me, and that's all.
What's on when pets go mad?
No, you know, like, I don't know the titles of them. I don't look at the titles. But
that show with Chris Moyles? Do you mean the kind of erotic thrillers?
Yeah, put one of them on, that gets you going a bit. I might be tired and that, but...
What does the woman go, oh, that's an idea? Hey, that's an idea.
They're normally called something like illegal briefs, and they're normally about some kind of female solicitor who's defending a guy who may or may not be a killer, but maybe in a former life they were lovers. It's always some nonsense like that, and presumably there's normally some gruesome murders. So how is that getting you in the mood?
It's plot development.
Yes, the narrative. I love narrative.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's a lovely twist. I've got the horn.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, if you're from Manchester, sorry about that. I mean, it is true. We weren't making that up. We weren't doing a stupid stereotype like Karl did with Liverpudlians. It's just a survey that Mancunians take off more sick days. But they might be genuine. They might be sort of an iller people, or it might just be people who are in Manchester go, oh, I can't be bothered to go to work, it's rubbish. Whereas if you're in London, you go, I can't wait to go to work. What a lovely place this is.
Some great jobs, don't you?
Great jobs, don't they?
Yeah. Rick, I know you're always looking just to keep you abreast of new developments in music, what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got any plans this evening. You might want to pop along to the Hope and Anchor in Islington.
Why?
Where playing tonight, Restless Diesel.
Please welcome to the stage.
Restless Diesel. I mean, we've talked about it before. Band names where you just have to imagine you're supporting U2, Wembley Stadium. It can never happen. Please welcome to the stage.
And
Restless
he comes on, and after
Diesel.
the first song, he goes, thanks, cause great band before us, Restless Diesel. Yeah, a lot more of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it won't happen, will it?
Sure, they're a great band. I think.
What's the tax on that? $5 in, is it?
It's not telling us actually. But pop down to the Hope and Anchor. Maybe tell us how Restless Diesel was tonight.
Yeah, just call in. Maybe call in on Christian Show Monday. Just tell us how Restless Diesel were. We can make that a regular feature.
Now, what's coming up on today's show?
Well, listen, we got all the usual favourites. We got and some new ones. We got Monkey News. That's sorted. Carl told me.
People are guaranteed Monkey News.
He called in. He said, "I've got some Monkey News."
Brilliant.
He's done that. I have to make sure. Then we got that. We've got some great tunes. I've got a great song from Tupac, some Cat Stevens, some Jimmy Webb, some Thin Lizzy.
Can I surprise you with something from Aerosmith? And a little treat from Evan Danberg.
We're quite rocky today, aren't we? There's a threat there won't be Rockbusters.
Good. That's no threat.
But we can bring back Educating Ricky.
Oh.
I mean, because it's sort of like seasonal, isn't it, our show? We don't want it's not like Ant and Dec's takeaways on all through the year. Yeah. They go away for a few weeks and we get something else like Ian Wright's, Friends Like These or something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so maybe Rockbusters, maybe not.
Rockbusters on hiatus, but Educating Ricky always fun. If you've not heard that before.
And I'll tell you what, Jane's Addiction, just because they rock as well, don't they?
Oh, brilliant.
XFM 104.9.
Excellent, Ricky Gervais.
Jane's Addiction, just because on XFM 104.9, broadcasting from London, where people prefer to only be off sick when they actually are ill.
Sure. I don't think I've ever taken a day off sick. Except when I had that terrible tonsillitis.
Is that when you went home, stayed with your mum and dad?
Yeah. Why is that a problem? You're a fan of health.
No, I'm not saying it's a problem.
Yeah, I've got a loving family. So sue me. What do you make of
The antagonism and piss taking is just like, oh God, 3 blokes in a pub. There's people listening. I can't get.
Are there? Karl, what do you make of London? Because you often say you'd much rather be up north.
Well, he wouldn't, or he'd go.
Well, this is what he constantly says.
You've chosen to live here. You've lived here for years. You've got a flat here. No.
I chose to come here because I was offered a job that was good money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have come here if there was no job.
So you prefer to be somewhere where there's a good job, so you've chosen to live here.
I don't like being here, though.
What? No, but you can leave.
To what?
Well, exactly! So you've chosen to stay somewhere that's better for you.
It's not better for me.
Well,
it's making me ill. I'm not sleeping.
Well, you say you're ill. I think you call in ill, but I don't think you are. But I mean,
are there any stats to prove that?
Well, yeah, because of the 11 days that he calls in sick, I reckon probably 7 of them are genuine.
I'd love it if I dropped down dead tonight. Honestly, I'd love it.
If you drop down dead tonight, you know it. Why aren't you sleeping?
What, you're feeling ill now, are you? That's funny. You weren't feeling ill earlier, but you read that and you're suddenly ill.
I'm run down.
Oh, you should take a holiday. Oh yeah, you just had about 8 in the last 6 months.
Oh God!
Why are you run down? Why are you run down?
Yeah, what have you done? You sit in a little air-conditioned office.
I haven't got time to tell you. Let's move on. Let's get on with stuff. What have we got anyway? Because we didn't have a chance to meet up this week. Me and Ricky could have done, but you said you were busy, Steve.
Yeah,
so that's probably why you don't get run down. But finishing work at about 4 o'clock.
No, so I could have had the meeting, but we gave you a time and you suddenly decided with very little notice that you couldn't make it. So
make it meetings and that. So what have we got? What have we got? It's 1:20. What have we got? We're on till 3.
Well, we've been talking. We've been doing well. We've been playing some great rock and roll. We've been playing some lovely songs. We've told them. We've explained a survey just for employees. Be careful.
Yeah.
We've put that out there. We put a shout out there. People know.
Would you say it was probably safest if you are an employer to never employ Mancunians?
Well, I
Would
wouldn't go
be
that
just a
far. I
general
wouldn't go
rule
that
of
far
thumb?
because, you see, that's only an average. So I imagine some Mancunians, like, Londoners, are nice, reliable people. It's probably just a few bad eggs that throw the stats up a little bit. People that would go, I'm not coming in today, I'll put on some wet trousers.
Sure.
All right, stay in bed.
Yeah.
Stay in bed.
Yeah.
You still got them on? Yeah. Well, pop them off.
Yeah.
Put them on the radiator and go to bed with a little duvet. That'd be the best thing to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So, all right, Karl? Right, what's your attitude? Is it because you're tired?
Yeah.
Well, why are you tired, though?
You weren't staying up watching those Channel 5 films again, were you?
I'll tell you what, me and Steve were having a little meeting yesterday over lunch about, planning stuff for the show. And Gary Kemp came up to me, started having a little chat about old times, and I went, oh yeah. As he went away, Steve said, right, think of this. He said, Rick, don't take this the wrong way. Remember that sentence, don't take this the wrong way. So there's a right way and a wrong way I could have taken this comment. He nodded to sort of Gary Kemp and went, he's aged better than you. I went, well, how could I take that the wrong way?
Yeah, it's not offensive.
No. Well, the point is this. He didn't know me 20 years ago, so he's actually saying, Rick, don't take this the wrong way. He looks better than you do.
Yeah, well, he does.
But why say that, Karl?
What?
Did you really say that?
Yeah, although, can I just backtracking for a second? I love the fact you said you bumped into Gary Kemp and you reminisced about old times. What old times did you share with Gary
Well, no,
Kemp?
he came up and said, did we drop the pops together? I went, no, I did Razzmatazz. I said, oh, we did Razzmatazz. I think he was thinking, had he ever met me before? But he hadn't, because we hadn't. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
but if you had to make an objective analysis...
I wouldn't. I think that's out of order.
Sure. I mean, you're always slagging me off, but apparently you can't make a value judgment on something else. No. Well, because you're morally all over the place. You don't know where you're coming and going.
Leave it.
Sure. You should hear what I say about you behind your back.
So, would you say you're better looking now than you were? Or
Than I'm what?
would you say you're better looking now than you were?
Than I was when?
Well, have you aged well?
Yes.
You've aged well.
Yeah, I've kept my looks.
bit of Dando?
Bit Evan Dando, this would be lovely, yeah. Evan Dando on a track called All My Life.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of that. That's brilliant.
Great stuff. Adverts?
Radiohead. Go to Sleep. That's good, isn't it? On XFM 104.9.
Brilliant. Great DJ in there.
Well, I haven't heard it before.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it was good. It was very good. It was very good. I was watching cable TV. I do a lot of that. And there's an advert I've noticed. It reminded me of the sort of adverts you used to see when I was a kid. It's one of those attempts to kind of educate young people. But doing it in... Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on MTV, but it's one of those things where it's clearly been made by people who are in their mid-40s.
Who have never been cool.
Who have never been cool.
Yeah.
Who've been working really hard to get into TV all their lives. And now are trying to appeal to, funky and possibly wayward young people. Yeah. And it's kind of...
Nerdy wells.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a kind of stunning model, and two of her stunning model friends, but they're just a couple of average girls, going about their business. And, it says something like, and it's all shot very funkily, like a kind of, lock, stock and two smoking barrels kind of thing. And it's a girl, and she's just grooving along with her friends, and it's kind of like, the captions are things like, Isabella's 17. She's cool, she's quite funky, she's got these great friends, and they're sort of hanging out, laughing. And she just pops into a tattoo parlour. Sure. Why not? Her friends are like, what are you doing? But she just goes in, she has a tattoo done. And it sort of says, she's wild, she's crazy. She lives life as she sees it. She takes every day as it comes. She's not tied down or anything. She doesn't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. So
if you think she's cool, if you
think all this is cool, then you probably won't want to smoke cigarettes.
Exactly.
If you want to be cool,
then like
don't.
Isabella or whatever.
Except the thing with that is that people watching that, the youth watching that will go, well, Bill at my school, he smokes and he's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is the problem with it.
Yeah.
It's not that the impulse is wrong. The message is fine. It's just this thing. I can't imagine those things ever working with young people.
No.
With youths. It's like when what was it?
What it will do is that you'll get a lot of 13 and 14-year-olds sneaking out and getting a tattoo.
Exactly.
So the parents be going, I'd rather she smoked.
Exactly. She might give that up sometimes. That's her life.
She's got a spider's web on her face now for the rest of her life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like, you remember that thing when they tried to get young people to vote? Do you remember that? Was it Rock the Vote? Was it called Rock the Vote? Was it people like Billy Bragg and people kind of...
Yeah.
I don't know who that appeals to. I don't know you know, some youth, he's kind of smashing up a bus shelter, throwing bricks at old people.
goes,
and
"Oh,
then, what's that, Billy Bragg?
Billy Bragg, yeah.
I just can't, I don't believe it ever. I think it was Mick Hucknall was another one. What's that, Mick?
Oh, dear. Well, I remember the ones where you just, if you were going to go off with a stranger, your cat went, well, don't.
Yeah.
Ask mummy first.
Yeah.
And I remember I was trying to jump in cars left, right and centre, but my cat, when I was like 5 or 6, would go, and I go, good point.
Yeah.
You're right, he could be a nutter.
But I seem to remember the Charlie's, the Charlie Says. It was Charlie Says, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Charlie Says.
Charlie Says.
I always find them really unnerving. He lived in that really eerie kind of world where you never really saw
cartoon.
anyone. Yeah, but it was very kind of, it was very eerie. It wasn't a very kind of comforting
No,
world.
they hadn't spent a lot of money on the cartoon, had they? No.
But it was, I always got the sense with him that he was probably really quite lonely.
But I like the fact is that,
And he had a cat,
Mummy
and the
was
cat
so
could talk.
pleased. But by the time I came out, they'd gone off and I missed the picnic. But Mummy was so pleased that I'd asked her. She gave me an apple.
No, I think
and
she said-
Charlie got something he liked. He gets a fish,
Yeah.
right? I was thinking an apple.
No, I seem to remember it being that,
I'll get an apple anyway. Get me some sweets.
yeah, or a tattoo.
I always thought there was a con when your parents got you some clothes you needed for Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm not falling for that.
Exactly.
I'd go, look, I'm getting the clothes anyway. I want battling tops.
But the Charlie Says, I seem to remember when they asked him to go off for the picnic, by the time he'd asked Mum, because she was on the phone,
Yeah.
I don't know who she was chatting to in the middle of the day, the kids had gone,
One of her,
and I seem to remember
one of her clients.
exactly. I seem to remember that he said, don't worry, it was fine because Mum took him and Charlie on a picnic.
Not as good.
Who'd rather go with your mates,
Yeah.
or with your
Or
mum on a
mum and your
picnic?
cat.
And your cat.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think they were friends.
Mum, the Scotch egg sinks a fish. Well, I had to bring it for Charlie. Don't bring raw fish in the picnic basket.
I think they weren't friends with us. They were just local kids who go, let's go and ask that weirdo with the cat if he wants to come down the park.
Let's go and ask the weirdo who thinks the cat can
He can
talk,
talk, yeah.
and then run away when he goes to ask his mum.
When he goes off to ask his mum, they're just going,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
ask your mum, ask your mum.
Yeah. Hello, hiya. All right, we're the local lads, the cool local lads. We smoke, we got tattoos. Do you want to come and play with some puppies in the disused mine? Ask your mum first. Quick, run.
Exactly.
So he's talking to the cat. Look, he's talking to the cat.
They were just round the corner spying on him. They were just laughing. There was no picnic.
Did you ever go on a picnic, Karl? Was there places to go in Manchester, or was it like Quarryland mostly?
The problem with those adverts, like when I was growing up, they'd sort of give you ideas, because remember the Charlie's one, right? And we were on holiday, right? And I met these two lads who are knocking about with like mates and that. And that advert came on, and we thought it'd be a good idea to wind his mum up, because this advert had just been on saying, you know, kids are going missing in Wales, right?
Yeah.
So we said, oh, this will be a good laugh. We put the kid in the wardrobe. His mum came back from shopping. We said, oh, he's gone missing. We haven't seen him for hours.
That's terrifying.
I know.
That's
How
an
old were you?
appalling
How
thing
old
to
were
do.
you?
About 13.
And what was his mum? She must have been
Yeah, she was going mad, and that's when we thought, oh God, we've gone. Will we say anything? Will we pretend we don't know where he is?
Open the wardrobe,
Yeah.
he'd suffocated.
Yeah. That's horrible, Carl.
I know, but
Such a
it's just
cruel
what you
thing.
do, isn't it? It's just what you do.
Well, no, you do.
What do you mean? It's just what you do. But what was it? Was he in the wardrobe? Was he listening to this? Why didn't he go, Mum, it's all right, when he heard her crying?
No, she wasn't crying, she was just panicking and like screaming a little bit and that.
Screaming a little bit.
Okay, we'll tell her when the screaming starts.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, what's the other thing? Like, on the same, like, you know, all this was going on when I was growing up. And, one time we're on holiday, and my mum says, right, if you're going on the beach, it's a big beach. But, you know, if you're going to go out and play there, I need to know where you are.
So
what part
where
of the
are these
beach you're going
bells?
to.
Where this cowbell round your neck.
She gave me a balloon.
Good
Give you
idea.
a balloon.
A balloon, and it just, you know, sort of attached to my arm, so wherever I was playing in the sea and that, you can see the balloon and that.
Brilliant.
But then the problem was, everyone else thought that's a good idea.
Cool.
And it was just like loads of kids with balloons and that.
Oh, I've ruined it.
So that didn't work.
Yeah.
Had to bin that idea.
Weren't you in a car park once?
Oh, no, it was New Year. And we were all gathering up. You know, like in Trafalgar Square at New Year, everyone gathers and they have a big kind of party and stuff. Well, in Bristol, they do something very similar on a smaller scale. And I was there one New Year, I was with my friends. And I for some reason, I picked up a balloon during the evening. You know, I don't know where I got it from, but I was holding this balloon. And these girls came up to me and I thought, yeah, nice. You know, maybe a little New Year kiss. They came up, they said, hey, are you going to be here for a while? And I said, well, yeah, I probably will. They said, it's just that we've arranged to meet back at you at midnight. What do you mean? Because I was so tall and had a balloon, I was towering above everyone else. I said, what? I said, we're going to meet back at you at midnight. They said, don't worry, you can go about your business because we can see you wherever you are.
This is where Nelson's column is.
No. No, this is in Bristol.
Oh, right, okay,
yeah. And so I'm sort of wandering around, and then at midnight these two girls turn up again, and some of these lads come and meet them, and they're sort of laughing and joking. I'm thinking, they're probably going to invite me back to a party. I watched them get in a cab. They went off. They had a wild night. But then I did have a balloon, so it was a great New Year for me.
I did have a balloon. Oh, should we have a little bit of two-pack?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
There's a great lyric in this. It's picture me rolling, right? But at the end, he's saying about look at me now. I'm drinking Remy and I'm in a Rolls Royce. And he goes, oh yeah, I forgot the DA. Can she see me from here? Can you see me, ho? And I think this is like District Attorney turning on the radio and Tupac going around going, can that ho see me? She's going, yeah, I can see you.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. Tupac. I'll tell you what, we should get rolling. Rockbusters.
No.
All right.
No.
Well, he has done it. He just said that he was worried about it because we said it's the last one. What do you think, Karl?
I just don't think... can I just say now, Karl, seriously, I'm only responding to what we're getting on the email, which is people do not want Rockbusters. They really... There's one guy here he says, it's James Pooley, he says he's preempted Karl by giving my answers to this week's quiz. I don't know what the clue would be, but his answer is no van ear. Nirvana.
Yeah, good. Nirvana, yeah. That sounds like one.
Number 2, he's just guessed. I don't know again what the clue would be, but the answer is Kid Creosote.
Yeah, that's good. That's a typical Rockbuster. That is brilliant. That's a better game.
And the last one is Harry Seacombe.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So, maybe we should reverse it so people
and we have to come up with a clue for them. And we win the prizes.
Yeah.
Have you got prizes ready as well?
It's all there, but...
Oh, I feel sorry for him now. What the prizes would have been.
I'd rather just give them away to the first person to email in, frankly, than have to go through the torrent of Rockbusters.
Oh, God! Look at Karl's face! I wish you could... Oh, can't we get this on telly just for Karl's face? Hey, I'll tell you what we could do, Steve. You know, like Smiley Miley and that used to take the Radio 1 Roadshow out?
Oh, man, that would be amazing.
Come on. Should we take it out?
Hello, Bournemouth.
Yeah, how many miles have I done? Don't care. No, should we do this? How many miles have we done? Well, XFM's down the road.
Yeah.
1. Yeah. Should we take it out the road just so they can see Karl Pilkington?
To be fair, though, you're not really keen to leave W1, are you?
Oh, we wouldn't.
Right, so where exactly would we take the roadshow?
We'd do it outside.
Outside the building?
Yeah.
Right, okay. And what would we do? It's called
a roadshow because it's in the road, and I imagine, isn't it?
And we'd give away T-shirts?
Throw in T-shirts, and then we'd have a band. We'd have band playing. What was that band playing tonight?
I forget, something Diesel, was it?
Yeah.
See, instantly forgettable. That was my point, really.
we could have them on.
Yeah, great. Yeah. We'd get a couple of celebrity pals down.
Someone from Big Brother 2.
That would be ideal.
Well, Josh, the other little gay fella.
Yeah.
He'd come on, just wave.
Yeah. I'm beginning to like the idea.
Yeah.
Brilliant, yeah.
So we'll have Josh, something Diesel, we're playing the Bull and Gates tonight, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right, I'll throw out some T-shirts.
Yeah.
And then Karl will do a live Rockbusters. Yeah?
Well, I don't know. Do you want it?
I just think that ruins it slightly. It would just bring the whole afternoon down, Rick, I think.
We get it sponsored by someone. Yeah? No? Well, I'm just trying to inject a bit of... Read the prizes, what they would have done.
There's a PlayStation game here. I guess it's maybe not been released yet. It's a little demo of that. What's this? The American Song Poem Anthology. I don't exactly know what that is again, but lots of songs on there and a couple of compilations, arbitrary compilations, the Club Anthems compilation, the best summer holiday album ever.
Wow. You've certainly sold it to me, Steve.
The best air guitar album again.
Brilliant.
And an old edition of Only Fools and Horses.
So, you really haven't put the effort into the prizes, Karl. So if that's the prizes, if that's the whole point of the competition, and they're the best prizes you could conjure up, in God's name, how bad are the clues this week? That's why he doesn't want you to do it, Karl.
Oh, we won't bother. Forget it. Doesn't matter.
Good. Excellent. Well, that's resolved.
Brilliant.
That's excellent. What we have got, though, is Educating Ricky, haven't we?
Well, another one of my little things.
Oh, it's brilliant, then.
So how long's this going to last before you want to get ditched this?
Well, we'll see. A couple of weeks.
It's not like that, Karl. It's all one. It's one love, man.
We're on the same team, man.
Yeah, we're just one voice, man. One true voice. Like those lads.
Yeah.
They could play.
Right, well, the Educating Ricky,
They could play.
Well, why don't we play a record and come back with Educating
The
Ricky?
Wind, Cat Stevens,
we need to get the jingle queued up as well.
Yeah, I'll get the jingle queued up.
No,
yeah.
I haven't got Neil Young lined up yet.
No, not you, on Cat Stevens. I gave it to you.
I know, we're not playing that yet.
Can we just play a record?
No,
This
I
is just
told you
sounding
to.
rubbish.
Well, I
This is
told you
squabbling.
to. See, so why aren't you playing the record I told you to play?
Because we've just had something chilled, right, from Tupac. Let's lift it up a bit now with a little bit of blur. Right?
Come on, play it. Oh, I'm not sure.
I just have. Crazy beat there on XFM 104.9. Right, we're going to do Educating Ricky instead of Rockbusters.
Incidentally, on the subject of Rockbusters, we've just had an email from Phil. He says, I could do with this week's rather shoddy array of prizes, as I'm doing a car boot sale tomorrow and need a bit more tact to fill the table. Probably send it
we
through.
might as well do it anyway.
Yeah.
But Educating Ricky, it was a feature. Well, actually, about a year ago, I started a feature called Educating Karl because we found out he had 1 E at O level at history. And I'd educate him on things like Rasputin, things that I thought he'd be interested in, you know, Winston Churchill, some of the greats, some scientific facts. And then I said, it's your turn. And he started telling me about people born without legs. Some people have got a funny eye. There's a woman whose tongue's longer than her arm. And really, you know, turning the screw on education. So I don't know what he's got for me today. Maybe a dog born a cat. Let's have a look.
We've done that one, we've done that.
Is there, because often we should point out there's sometimes a crossover between Educating Ricky and Cheeky Freak of the Week, just in terms of subject matter.
Yeah, so we've done Cheeky Freak of the Week, we've done all the freaks. What have we done with the Freak of the Week? There's a dog. There was a woman that had the back legs of a dog. There was last week. What was last week?
It was the girl who was born with 4 eyes, 2 mouths, and 3 legs.
Sure.
You weren't that impressed. So I thought we've got to that, and it's not impressing you.
We are a tough audience, I
Let's
admit.
spin it. Let's move on.
Is there a jingle for Educating Ricky?
Educating Ricky. Oh God. You've told me Educating Ricky. Very similar to some of the other jingles I've done.
Well, they're made by the same people.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay,
it's just, I mean, Educating Ricky is just stuff that I learn in the week, and I think that's interesting. I keep it up here, and then I share it with you, right? And some interesting stuff. One of them, right? Mount Everest.
Go on. I need more.
Right, well, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Because people are leaving rubbish up there and that. And, like, people, whoever owns it is saying, he's saying, forget this. They're leaving a mess and all that. But do you know why it's called Mount
Sorry,
Everest?
what was that? That's one, is it? That's one. There's rubbish on Mount Everest.
No,
How many people go up there?
Are we talking about people dumping old tellies and washing machines?
Who's fed up? The Yeti? What are you talking about?
No, I mean, that isn't what I'm educating you. I'm just telling, this is part of the story. I'm just telling you.
It's just a bit of context for you.
Like, they're leaving loads of rubbish up there.
Well, they're not leaving loads of rubbish up there, are they?
No, they are. They apparently
Not
it's
like
right
prams and washing machines and seagulls flying everywhere.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know. But anyway, do you know why it's called that? You know why it's called Mount Everest?
Why it's called Mount Everest?
I know the mount bit.
It's because it's a large mount, and if you climb it, by the time you get to the top, you need to have a rest. And that isn't the educating bit. I'm just telling
It's
you.
not true.
Well, we'll leave that.
Well,
right?
no. Karl, in the name of everything holy, do you think that anyone named it because you have to have a rest when you've climbed it?
Well, we'll see. You'll see what people say on email. But
Well, it's definitely not.
But anyway, that's one thing that I kind of thought, that's interesting. I'll remember that. I'll teach Ricky that, so you've learnt that. Right, now, are you familiar with this thing that they can do if you're dead, right? No, not if you're dead. It's like if you're ill and you know you're going to die, right?
I don't know what this is anymore.
Extraordinary.
Have a rest.
Extraordinary.
Himalayas. Himalaya. What?
Listen, this is an interesting fact. Come on. If you're ill but you know you're going to die.
Yeah, you can have this thing done in Detroit where you get put in a fridge.
Right.
And if they work out, you know, what's wrong with you in 20 years' time, they go, right, that fella is in the fridge. He had that. We can sort it. Let's get him out. And they sort you out.
Yeah. Is this the first time you've come across this idea?
Yeah, I read it the other day. I didn't know
You've
about
never
it.
heard of this before?
Oh, yeah,
it's called
cryogenically
cryogenics.
preserved.
good, innit?
They take this to make. They put you at sort of like sub-zero temperatures, so stop all cellular activity.
So do you stop aging at that point?
Yeah, it's suspended animation.
So, well, what's the law on it, right? Because say if I had something, right,
Yeah,
and I said, oh, put me in a fridge, and when you've got the cure and that, wheel me out, sort me out. Say if they did that,
yeah,
and it was like 40 years,
yeah.
and in 40 years' time they get a cure for me.
Yeah.
Would I have to stay with Suzanne? Because she'd be 70.
Do you mean what are the rules? Should you be allowed to date a younger woman?
Well, it's not fair, is it? It's like good news, we sorted you out, but
I don't think she'd mind. I reckon
She'd
she'd have the best 40 years of her life.
Yeah. And plus, they're never going to find a cure for what ails you.
That is genius. That is brilliant. You come out, you're cured, and you go, oh no.
I love the fact that's what he'd be lying there. If you could think while he was in that state, you'd be thinking, oh God.
She's losing her looks.
Yeah.
Just, oh dear.
But everything else as well, like my job wouldn't be here.
No.
No. Although the figures would have gone up a little bit.
Flat's probably gone or knocked down or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Most of my family would be dead.
Yep.
So what's the point? What? How do you know about it? Who's done it?
Well, famously, Walt Disney, apparently. I mean, Walt Disney actually did die, but had his body preserved so that should they one day be able to bring back people from the dead,
they need Walt Disney.
Hang on, who do we have?
But with him, nothing is going to change because when he comes out, Mickey Mouse will still look the same.
Sure.
Unplug and all that.
Play a record. I don't know where your mind is. Play a record. It's brilliant. You just say words. It's the apparatus. 50 Cent in the club on XFM 104.9. So Karl's a little bit fed up today. Actually whinging. I mean, properly whinging. Fed up. Reckons he's tired. Reckons he's overworked here. But do you know what I mean, Karl? Everyone gets tired. Everyone gets tired. Everyone does the same sort of hours as you. What do you do? Sort of 9 till 6, 7?
About 9 till 7, 8.
Well, no, because a couple of times this week I've sort of met you for a drink about 6. So it's funny, isn't it? That's weird.
Some of the times I've come back after it, just for another 40 minutes or something whilst no one's around, try and get stuff done without phones going, without emails coming in.
Yeah, we got to do it.
Can I tell you what I think's a disappointment?
You're in the department. You got to do it.
I just think it's a disappointment that Karl hasn't been able to put that aside and rise to the occasion. He's only got to do this show once a week.
I know.
You and I, we're tired. We've got
you've got one job. We've got about 6, and we're still doing it. Do you know what I mean? We still do it. We still.
Well,
come
you're a
here.
professional, Rick. I mean, that's why you've won multiple awards. Is because you're willing to get up there, even if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, even if you hurt yourself, you've got an injury of some kind. You're up there. You're doing it.
Yeah.
You're entertaining. You're providing a service.
Yeah. So
it's disappointment.
Yeah, but I've pressed all the right buttons at the right time.
Indeed.
Right. That's what I get paid for. Yeah. Done that. The adverts have gone out.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I've made you cups of tea.
It's the negativity which is the problem. It's the vibe. You're bringing
us down. Bringing us down.
And therefore the listeners.
Therefore the listeners bringing us down. If you don't like London, you know what to do. Well,
I'm trying to get out of here, aren't I?
We just bought a new flat. That's not the best way. Buy a flat in Manchester, live there.
Doesn't matter. I can always rent it out and make a little bit of money.
Why don't you sell the flat in London and buy a street in Manchester?
Pilkington Avenue. You could literally have the king of that street. People could come to you like Solomon with their problems.
Yeah. Well, he's come up from London. He's got London ways.
Now, interestingly, have you heard? Do you remember the famous King Solomon story that there are 2 women arguing over whose baby it is, and they present this to they say this is my baby. And the other one goes, no, this is my baby.
So he knows one of them's lying, but he doesn't know which one.
And so what does he do? How does King Solomon solve that? How does he figure out whose baby is his? First, what would you do?
They're both white fellas, yeah.
Both what?
White fellas.
Women, 2 women.
Right, it's 2 white women.
To be probably, they probably weren't, completely white.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they're of the same ethnicity.
No, I'm just working out. Right, all right then. So, all right.
And don't think about what King Solomon would necessarily.
Yeah, it wasn't that easy. No, there's not one tall, skinny white one with big ears and so's the baby. The other one's a little short Chinese bloke. It's 2 women for a start.
Yeah.
2 women, okay. The baby to look at could be either. He doesn't know which, but he knows one of them's lying, obviously.
And is the one lying saying it's hers or saying it's not hers?
Right, okay, this isn't worth it, Steve. I'm going to tell you what he said, and you tell me if you think it was good or not. He says, well, then what we do is, as King, he said, what we do is, I'll take a sword, I'll cut the baby into 2, and you can have half each. And one of the women says, no, don't do that. And one of them says, yeah, that's fair.
Right.
Do you see?
So which one was it?
Sorry? Well, no, my guess is the one that didn't want it done probably was the mother of the child. The one that didn't mind having the baby cut in half probably wasn't a mother of the child. Why don't you think, you bald little mank twat? Play a record.
Well, I'm just, right.
Although, it's not a very good solution.
No, that doesn't
Because I
happen
think
in
the woman who was lying could have come up with something better than, cut it in half. What she should have done is, I'll give it to the other one as well.
Yeah.
Jaded from Aerosmith on XFM 104.9. Just trying to pet things
See,
up.
Steiner, you're up. You're up there. I mean, we've got lots of work to do. We're filming soon. We've got loads of things, admin, DVDs, everything like that. We come in here. This is Poxy. This is not a drop in the ocean, the sort of work and money we earn. Right, really? If we do this to keep charitable status. And yet you know, Karl, come on. What's the matter with you?
Are we doing Rockbusters?
I'll tell you what. Come on, Rick. I'll tell you what. Because it's your special day and I want you to have a great time today.
Yeah.
We're going to do Rockbusters
If you cheer up. Miserable. It just got ratty then. Go, no, don't push it on my head. Don't put it on my head.
Right, what were you trying to put on my head?
I was trying to put a pear on your head to knock it off with a ball, like William Tell, but it was because your head is so round and the pear was round, I tried to flatten it a little bit, and I didn't know it was a juicy pear. So I thought it'd be like just to crush it a little bit, and then he went mental because he had juice running down his face.
Oh.
Why is it my fault? The pear's a faulty pear.
Exactly.
Get proper fruit in here. It worked with the apple.
That was fine.
And then he gets ratty with me.
Okay, let's not waste any time with Rockbusters. Can we let's whip through it?
Just whip through it.
one's
Just do the
interested,
clues quickly. Quick, go. Rockbusters. Right, go.
Right, the first clue.
Yeah, hurry up. Faster.
All the police cars are on fire.
All the police cars are on fire. What's the initials?
BS.
BS. All the police cars are on fire. Good. What's the next one?
The director of 28 Days Later is shouting about sleeping outside.
Yeah, okay. What's the initials for that?
DB.
Right, okay. Okay, yeah. Right, go on then.
He wants to be a sailor. Why is that?
Yeah, well, what's the initials there?
B.
Brilliant. Okay.
Give them again quickly, because I didn't quite catch the second one, but go from the top.
All the police cars are on fire.
Yeah, that's BS.
BS.
Yeah.
The director of 28 Days Later is shouting about sleeping outside.
Yeah, okay.
DB.
Yeah.
Right? He wants to be a sailor. Why is that?
Yeah.
B.
B. Okay, then brilliant. Okay, now Karl, you going to cheer up now?
Yeah.
Email only, Ricky Gervais at virgin.co.net. Radio 1 Roadshow. Smiley Miley.
Smiley Miley's mileage game. If anyone remembers that, I mean, here's a man, right, whose job, Smiley Miley was not a DJ, lest we forget. Smiley Miley was the guy that organised the vans that carried the equipment to and from the roadshows. Because he was such a crazy personality.
Because he smiled a little bit.
Exactly.
He got recognition, Karl. Longevity, lots of money, and lives where he wants to live. The town that he wants to live in. Why don't you just enjoy the town that you've chosen to live in, because it's so good? London. What towns have you been to? Have you travelled at all?
I've been about a bit, yeah.
Right, okay, then what towns did you like? Okay, forget Manchester. That's safe. You like Manchester. Right, I'll do the big
stop
three.
shouting.
London, New York, Paris. Okay, you don't like London, even though you live here. Got flats here. Good, excellent. That makes sense. Have you been to New York?
Yeah.
What do you think? It's an amazing city,
Didn't
isn't it?
like it. It's just noisy, it's smelly.
Right, it's the city that never sleeps.
I'm not surprised with all the racket and that.
Paris, the city of love, the most romantic city in the world.
Not really. I remember seeing an old woman in McDonald's in there, and it put me off. That's where that thing happened, where the old woman was.
What did it say? Tell us.
We talked about it before. The old woman in McDonald's.
Yeah,
And
what happened?
She was sat in the corner there with her legs open, no knickers on. All right.
Oh God!
That's Paris.
Did that put you off your cheeseburger?
Next city. Where next?
Have you been to? I don't know. The most beautiful city, Venice.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
It's good.
No.
Why?
Because Because they sell it to you as if it is a romantic city.
Where did you see it sold?
No, I saw it on when I was growing up. Right, remember 3-2-1 with Ted Rogers?
Yeah, of course.
Right, it used to be one of the star prizes on there.
Right.
And they'd say, "Let's show you the video. Let's see what you're going to. Let's see where you're going to be loving it for a couple of weeks." And they'd show you this scene of like the gondolas and all the city lit up at night, like a man and woman sat on a boat loving it and stuff.
Yeah.
I went there, bin bags everywhere.
Play a record.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Play a record.
It's London.
That
flooded.
is Wish You Were Here with Karl Pilkington.
All right.
It's London flooded.
Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. Stop on XFM. Karl's back. He's cheering up a little bit because I think he's vented his spleen a little bit on cities around the world that aren't as good as Manchester. So, is any of your family left in Manchester? Because they all moved away, didn't they? You came here. Your dad's moved to Wales, for Christ's sake. Well, your family are all around the... Brother joined the army. Get anywhere. Just take me anywhere.
We don't know where he is.
His sister's moved away, so no
Ireland.
one... Yeah, there you go. You see? So, that's just one family. That's one family who love Manchester.
Exactly.
All right?
Tell you what, Steve.
Go on.
Look what I did find out in the week.
Yeah.
World record, right? Person with the longest trump.
With the longest what?
Wind. Fart.
Right.
Right? 2 minutes 42 is the world record.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I'm immediately thinking about a relative of yours who I'm sure did longer than
Who
that.
still lives in Manchester.
Auntie Nora.
Now, Auntie Nora did it for how long? 5
Reportedly,
minutes, wasn't it?
start fight for 5 minutes. But unfortunately, she was the only person in the room. Whereas I think, which one's alive, Ross or Norris McWhirter?
I don't know, actually.
He has to be there.
Yeah, I think he actually has to
He'd
be
have
present.
to be there.
Would you want to be there?
Well, he'd have sort of equipment, looking at his watch, going, finish? You go, yeah. He goes, well, that was 4 minutes,
Did she go
59
from like a
seconds.
size 10 to a size 6?
She just,
Did she show some old dresses?
like a hovercraft.
Exactly.
In a big dress.
Yeah,
Just slightly off. Yeah. So, it has to be invigilated.
But again, you know, how was the Guinness Book of World Records one invigilated? I mean, who was supervising that? Who was
He
monitoring
said,
that?
I can fart for 2 minutes. They went, well, we've got to see this. Went round. And, he just probably let it rip. It's probably circular breathing. He's probably sort of sucking in air and swallowing it as he's going. And it's a continuous one, isn't it? It's not like, yeah.
I mean, I said, you know, that's how Nora's happened. Me Auntie Nora. She had a little bit of wind. It went on for like 2.5 minutes.
Sure.
That's when she called me mum.
As it was still going on.
And said, there's something not right here.
I'm
And,
leaking.
She said, oh, can you send your dad round? You know, my dad.
Yeah.
Sent to me mum.
With a cork.
And,
With a lighter. I think this would be the best one
I
ever.
want to show the kids something.
he said, I'll be there in a bit, get the windows open. But what it was down to, because I was talking to
Is
my
she
mum
the one
and dad
with the
about
split
it.
tennis ball?
Yeah.
We're not talking about that again.
I was talking to my mum and dad about it, saying, you know, why do you think it happened and that? And it's because she never chucks food away, right? And she'll sort of mash it all up. And she's got all these ice cream tubs in the fridge that are just full
Cabbage
of like
water.
old mashed up food.
Really?
And she prepares everything. Right, she doesn't work, she's retired now, she's got nothing to do all day, but everything's got to be ready
Still
for her.
calls in sick.
Do you know what I mean? Everything's got to be done. Even though, if you're going round to her house and you're going there for tea, it's like, what time are you coming? And it's like, well, I don't know, maybe 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, you're
Well, no,
late,
I need
because
to
you're late
know,
when
I
you
need
have
to
to meet
know.
us at 5 or 6.
Do you know what I mean? That's
But
what.
so sorry, when you say she mashes up food, she literally takes the remnants of a dinner, could be sort of some...
Anything.
And just smashes it all up into a...
Yeah.
And then what does she do with it?
Put it in the fridge, and she's got in the fridge, it's like January, February, March, she's got all these ice cream boxes that are just full of...
But she doesn't... She reheats it and eats
Oh,
it.
then she,
I
puts it in
thought
the
she was
pan.
just keeping it as a
No,
souvenir of each meal she'd had.
No, put it in a pan, warm it up.
Oh,
And that's what it
grotesque.
is, it's just...
A lot of vegetation, is it?
Yeah.
Why does it only happen once, or does she save it up once a year, just let it go?
I don't know. But she is mad, she's...
Yeah, she sounds potty.
She doesn't answer the phone anymore in case there's a burglar. Checking if she's in. It's like, well, answer it and then they'll know you are in and they won't come round.
Yeah.
Mental. Mental.
They can't be sure then, can they?
What do you mean?
Well, if there's no, well, okay, well, maybe it's someone just, they are in, but they're hiding. Whereas if Auntie Nora goes, it's Auntie Nora. We can nick. She'll be farting. We can sneak in when she does a loud one. Because we'll be aware of the telly. What's stopping it? It's got a valance round it. It's got caught on the cat.
So have we got a recap on Rockbusters?
No, just do. Has anyone got the right answers? Has anyone got the right answers?
Let me just check here. Here's one from someone who just says he's given an answer. Answer to number 1, I. Number 2, don't. Number 3, care.
Right, okay, is he close? Has anyone got 3 answers?
I can't find one with 3 answers.
So, again, you've done something wrong, Karl.
No, no.
This isn't radio, play a record.
There you go, someone's got it.
Give it to them.
Fine, okay, give us the clues again, we'll give the answers straight away.
Yeah.
No fanning around.
Yeah,
Right.
it's really pointless.
Number 1,
Yeah.
all the police cars are on fire. BS.
Yeah, what was that?
I can think of something.
Go on.
Blazing Squad.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Right. The director of 28 Days Later is shouting about sleeping outside.
Yeah.
That's Dan Yell Bedingfield. Right?
Danielle
We're never-
Bedingfield.
Right, we'll never let him do this again.
I told you I washed my hands of it.
I know, but I
Why
just
did you
thought...
let him? Why do you...
Because he was grumpy.
But this is what happens. Look what's happened. Danielle Bedingfield. That's what happened.
The director of... So Danny Boyle, so Dan, right, all that for Dan, but shouting about being... Dan Yell Bedingfield, right? What's the last one?
He wants to be a sailor, why is that?
Yeah?
Beyonce.
What does that mean?
Beyonce. Who wants to be on the sea.
Play record. You're never doing it again. You just
can't-
signed your death warrant.
What have we
You're
done?
never doing Rockbusters again. And if Monkey News is about that, we'd ban that as well.
We've
And we're
unleashed it.
serious this time.
So Joe in Catford. Stuff off to you.
Oh, I can't believe what we've done.
He's even doing the shout out.
There you won. Well done on that.
What have we done, Rick? What have we done? World Party, is it like today? Still to come. We've got Monkey News, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're guaranteed Monkey News. But I tell you what, I know, I can look, the look in your eye.
You know
Rick,
what
tells
I
me
want?
everything.
Just play some.
Adverts.
There's a little sailor fella. He wants to, join the Navy. Why?
Beyonce.
Knowles is his surname.
Yeah.
Midshipman Knowles. Now, Karl, we're going to do another edition, I think, of Wish You Were Here, because that really cheered you up, didn't it?
So on.
Where else you been? Have you been around Europe, haven't you? You've been to any hot country? You've been to Greece?
Greece.
Turkey?
Done Turkey, yeah.
Yeah.
Been to Turkey. Little fellas. Little midgets working in the canteen in the hotel I was in.
Okay.
Astley Suzanne as well.
Okay. Have you been to Scotland?
Once for the Edinburgh Festival.
Go on.
That's where I looked out in my hotel room, saw a traffic warden putting a ticket on some bin bags
Brilliant.
because they'd gone into the road.
So that's Turkey, Scotland. What about places here? Have you been to the West Country where we?
Have you been to my neck of the woods, Bristol?
I haven't been out. What else is around there?
Bath?
Been to Bath. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you make of it?
Once you've been, probably don't need to go again because it's sort of old and they don't change anything.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
That'll be
So
the
once you've
Roman
been-
spa
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
talking about,
Right.
I think. What about Brighton?
Not gay people.
Right, okay, thank you. Next week on Wish You Were Here, we'll go to some other places where there are gay people.
Fascinating. And
Brilliant.
Another extraordinary insight there. Karl, could we have some Monkey News?
Well, just before we do Monkey News, right, can I do a little psychological test on you?
On me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's brilliant, this. Someone emailed it in.
Brilliant.
Right. Little story with a question at the end.
Okay.
Right? Right.
This is going to be so annoying.
No, it's not, honestly. It's,
Well, it is, because you're going to think it's science and it's going to be trite.
Alright, well,
Go on.
right. Little story first, right? There's this funeral, right? And this girl was at a funeral.
Same funeral?
Yeah.
Right.
It was a mother's funeral.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She met this fella who she didn't know, right? But she thought this fellow who she met was amazing. She didn't know him, right? But she thought he was brilliant, right? Like a dream fella.
Right.
And she fell in love with him, right? But never asked for his number, his phone number,
Right.
And she couldn't find him. Now, a few days later, the girl killed her own sister, right?
Yes.
Question is, why did she do that?
Okay, well, it's one of those stupid things then, isn't it? So it's not logic, it's it's what am I thinking?
No, it's not. So it's a proper, it's a proper
real
mental
logic.
test. It's a proper mental test.
A mental test. It is a bit mental.
So you understand the story, yeah?
Kind of. Let me just get it right. So there's a funeral. A girl goes to the funeral of her mother.
Yeah.
She meets the guy, or she
meets the guy at the funeral.
She meets the bloke.
He looks all right. I fancy a bit of that.
Right.
Has a chat with him,
Yeah.
but doesn't get his name, doesn't get a phone number or anything.
So to cut a long story short, the things are asked, right? So the reason she kills her own sister, is this something to do with finding out something about the man she met?
Well, just answer the thing. Just why did
Oh, okay then. I'll answer it then. She went mental. He was a spy called Derek. What do you mean, just answer it?
Anyway, I'm testing Steve.
Right. Well, she killed her own sister because her sister had stolen some money from her and was sleeping with her husband.
Is that it?
Well, I
That's
don't know.
an
Carl, I
answer.
don't know.
It's an answer.
I don't know.
What's the answer on the paper? So,
Well, come on.
come on!
Well, the answer is
No, an answer is...
that she was hoping that the guy would appear at the funeral again. He'd go to the funeral.
Right, that's not a proper psychological test.
It is,
It's one of
it
those
says here.
stupid little shitty things.
It says
It's like
here.
a man goes into a field and dies. Why? His parachute didn't open. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm surprised you learn anything.
Oh,
Honest to
I
God,
love
I'm
that.
surprised you
Romeo
learn
and
anything.
Juliet. Oh, Juliet's a fish.
It said she was hoping that the guy would appear again at the funeral. If you answered this correctly, you think like a psychopath. This was a test by a famous fella, right, who used it on killers, and most of the killers got the answer right.
Did you also think that? Was that the answer that you gave when you first read it?
I didn't know. But I wondered what you would have got.
Good. So that's proof I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah, but that's the point. But it's a psychological test for looking at something very, very specific.
What's up with that?
Well, what was the best that could happen? That he'd got it right, so he is a psychopath.
What annoys me is you're not happy with that test, but before you wasted 3 minutes trying to balance a pear on my head. What were you getting out of that?
Let's play a song and have some monkey yourself.
Joe Jackson. Is she really going out with him on XFM? Right, it's the time that most people, I imagine, have been waiting for. Monkey news.
Play the jingle.
Okay. Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right.
Come on. Come on.
Should be ready, Carl.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's like Nicholas Witchell. The bomb. No, that's not the first. Come on!
No, it's always difficult, isn't it, to sort of find something that's good each week, right? Last week, we did the chimp.
It is for us, yes.
We had the chimps who were running a health spa.
Yeah.
Right. We've covered the one who nicked a car to go on to Spain.
Yep.
To sort his future out.
All shite.
The hairdresser, I think we've done that one, the little monkey hairdresser. This week we're looking at monkeys that they're using. Do you know, like monkeys? They know how like.
I've lost the will to live, Steve.
Oh, well, I don't want to do it. Right?
Well, come on, come on.
What are monkeys good at?
What are monkeys good at?
Yeah.
Well, running small businesses, cutting people's hair, and driving cars.
Yeah, they love Spain.
Oh, and foiling bank robberies.
Yeah, they're great.
Well, something else they're good at, right, is like weighing up the situation.
Oh, God!
If you stick them in like a field with loads of like obstacles on it, right, they're good at sort of, I can get over that, and I climb over that, I'll swing from there to there, that sort of thing, right?
Okay.
So the people in charge of somewhere, I've thought,
somewhere!
I've thought we can use that skill, right? What? And what they've done is they've got a load of little monkeys, right? They've given an IQ test.
Yeah.
And the ones that score above 80, right?
Get to produce this show next week.
Join the army.
Right. How do they join the army and what do they do?
They just, what they do is they set little obstacle courses up for them. They do that. They do a cross-country run. They do, the IQ
cross-country
test.
run?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once they've done all that, they make them a little uniform, made to measure little uniform.
Slightly longer arms, shorter legs than usual, yeah.
Yeah. And, basically then they taught how to use a gun and that sort of thing.
Yeah, of course they are. You're talking rubbish again.
This came through literally pretty late on. So
you've not had a chance to corroborate all the facts, as usual.
just have a look.
Right. It's the bit I'm looking for is, well, A, why are they doing it? Why are they doing it?
Yeah.
Why do we need monkeys in the army? And secondly, why are we giving them guns? I'll just check to see if any of that.
I love that we only let gays in recently.
Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Just have a look.
I can't read it. There's too much pressure.
Well, it's rubbish.
Just have a.
But it's rubbish. They don't get it. It's the way that there are things. There are animal cores, right? There are horses. There are dolphins, sea lions. There are lots and lots of animals in the army, but they don't have to pass an obstacle test as such, and they're not taught to fire guns. You've straight away assumed that there's going to be loads of squads of men, and then just one little monkey in the middle. Like, he came second on the test. He's in, boys.
What do you think, Steve? You've read it?
Well, as ever, Karl, this is an arbitrary email sent by one of our listeners. You know what Ricky and I think of them. and so we're not really basing this on hard evidence. We're basing it on the ramblings of one of our listeners. Rubbish.
Once again, lazy, rubbish, uncorroborated, nonsense. The stupid test that you got wrong.
Rick, that sounds like monkey news to me.
I wanted to play those adverts for you on XFM 104.9. Well, that's about it. We've had some tears and laughter. I mean, the only real thing that we learned from today's show that's corroborated and is absolutely true is that, remember, Mancunians take off more sick days than any other area, 11 days per year, compared to sort of like 8 Liverpool.
And from that we extrapolate, do not trust Mancunians.
Well, I'm not saying that. I think that's a bit harsh. I'm saying, make sure you get in writing that they're not going to have more than sort of like the average number of days off per year.
Yeah. Or if they start taking loads off, fire them.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? All right, Karl, we've had a good day? We're going to end with a beautiful song, aren't we? Just to show we're all still friends. It's Jimmy Webb and his version of Galveston.
See you next week, I guess.
Bye.